Herd Sports Network.
Thundering Herd Basketball is on the air. Our pregame coverage begins with the Par Mar Courtside Show on the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield. Par Mar. If there's not a Par Mar store near you, there will be soon. The Par Mar Courtside Show is also brought to you by Marshall Health. We are Marshall Health. Ford. There's more in store. The Par Mar Courtside Show brings you an in-depth look at tonight's matchup, highlights and scores from around the conference and country, plus an exclusive conversation with head coach Corny Jackson. Now, let's go courtside. Here's the voice of the herd, Steve Cotton.
Welcome to Day 4 of the 2025 Sun Belt Conference Basketball Tournament. But it's Game 1 for the Marshall University Thundering Herd. The event started on Tuesday, but with Marshall as the number 5 seed in the event, the Herd opens its portion this evening and takes on a Georgia State University team that has the number 8 seed and played its first game last night when it survived an 80-71 contest with arch rival Georgia Southern to make it to this one. Marshall, which has not played for a week since the Herd's 75-57 win over Appalachian State last Friday night in the Cam Henderson Center, hopes that the layoff means rest overcomes the rust of not having played for a while. Coach Corny Jackson's team closed out the regular season with 4 straight wins and comes into this game with a 19-12 overall record. The Herd went 12-6 in Sun Belt play this season. Georgia State comes in at 14-18 and 8-10 respectively. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Pensacola, Florida and the Pensacola Bay Center. Once again, this year the home of the Sun Belt Tournament. I'm Steve Cotton, here in what they call the Western Gate of the Sunshine State. And along with Brandon Joseph from his seat back at Network Control, we welcome you and thank you for choosing to spend this portion of your Friday with us and the rest of the Herd. The Thundering Herd Courtside Show is brought to you by Par Mar Stores. You're never far from a Par Mar. Tonight's Marshall-Georgia State matchup not only decides who advances to play Arkansas State tomorrow evening, it also decides whether the Thundering Herd or the Panthers take this season's series. The teams split the 2 regular season meetings, each one on the other's floor. Back on January 23rd, Marshall played lights out and beat the Panthers 92-79 in Atlanta. Then 7 days later, it was the Panthers who prevailed in the Cam Henderson Center 85-81. So Georgia State has already generated some positive energy this week in Pensacola. Marshall comes in fresh for its first action. Advantage who? Before long, we will begin to figure that out. Coming up on the Par Mar Stores Courtside Show, you're going to hear from Coach Corny Jackson. We will get Brandon's first scoreboard rundown of this year's tournament, and we'll have much more to get you ready for Marshall and Georgia State. It's all headed your direction on the other side of this timeout.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you will find a Par Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries to snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par Mar Stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par Mar Stores rewards card too. West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Find your location now at parmarstores.com.
The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, the exclusive provider of sports medicine services to Marshall University Athletics, is pleased to offer walk-in clinics 6 days a week. Full-service appointments are available on a walk-in basis weekdays from 9 until 3, and a screening clinic is conducted Saturday mornings 8 to 10. No appointment necessary. For more information, call 304-691-1880. The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, taking care of the Herd, taking care of you.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Your personal checking account? Then one of our new Community Trust Advantage checking accounts might be right for you. Our Advantage checking accounts offer great features such as ID Protect, roadside assistance, cell phone protection, travel and leisure discounts, and shopping rewards, which makes it easier for you to save money on everyday purchases. Learn more at ctbi.com. Get more out of your checking. Open an account today. Our friendly, professional staff at one of our many branches will be happy to assist you.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, terms and conditions apply. A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
This is the second straight year in which Marshall opens Sun Belt Conference tournament play against Georgia State University. It's already the sixth meeting in a series that began only 2 years ago when Marshall entered the Sun Belt. The Herd won both games in that first season. Then the team split their two regular season meetings last year, including a game won by Georgia State in Atlanta in the final game of the regular season. Then 7 days later, the next game for each team was a rematch right here in the Pensacola Bay Center, and Marshall won it 86-74, a game in which Marshall had not one but two 30-point scorers. Both Cam Kerfman and Kevon Voiles scored 30 points in that one. Kerfman knocked down 9 of 12 three-point shots in that game. Time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by Ford. There's more in store. In the two regular season meetings between the Herd and the Panthers, offense ruled. In the first meeting, won 92-79 by Marshall in Atlanta, the Herd scored its most points against a Division I opponent all season. Jalen Spear scored 25 points. Obina Anachili-Killen scored 23 for Corny Jackson's team. When it was all said and done, Marshall not only made 53% of the field goal attempts, the Herd hit 12 of 19 shots from three-point range. Spear knocked down 5 of 8. Mike Dawson 4 of 7 from long distance. But 1 week later in Huntington, it was Georgia State which torched the nets. The Panthers hit 34 of 55 overall from the field. That's 62%. And they shot lights out from three-point range, 9 of 18. Panthers forward Cesar Edwards connected on 27 points that night. He hit 11 of 17 shots from the field. That included 2 for 3 from long range for the 6'11" forward. We always talk a little defense here in the Courtside Show, brought to you by Stephen New & Associates. Stephen New is the official injury attorney of Marshall Athletics. Stephen New is a proud graduate of Marshall and for more than 25 years has fought for West Virginia clients and their families. It's worth keeping your eye on the big guys this evening, in particular Marshall's Obina Anachili-Killen and the aforementioned Cesar Edwards of Georgia State. Both were named to the All-Sun Belt Conference second team, and Obina also snagged the Defensive Player of the Year honor. Anachili-Killen is Marshall's leading scorer at 14 points per game and steps outside from time to time, having hit 17 three-pointers, good for a 33% rate, while Edwards leads the Panthers in scoring 16 points per game, and he's knocked down 27 threes at a 43% clip. That opens your eyes. And while Obina grabbed the hardware and led the Sun Belt with 90 block shots, Edwards also number 4 in the league with 45 blocks. He's also in the top 10 in rebounding with more than 7 per game. And also, don't overlook the other big man for each team. Marshall's Nate Martin and Georgia State's Nick McMullen are both powerful rebounders, both in the top 5 in the conference. Martin at over 8 rebounds per game, McMullen close to 10. So we are underway, ready for the first game of the tournament for the Marshall University men's basketball team taking on Georgia State. When we return on the Par-Mar Stores Courtside Show, you're going to hear from the coach. It's Corny Jackson on the other side of this timeout.
Hey there, Herd fans. If you or someone you know needs a lawyer related to an injury or wrongful death case, we highly recommend you choose Stephen New & Associates as your lawyers. Stephen is a proud graduate of Marshall University, and for more than 25 years, he has fought for West Virginia clients and their families. Stephen New & Associates are the official injury attorneys of Marshall Athletics, and they truly care about every client they serve. Go Herd!
For more than 4 decades now, Ford F-Series has given hard-working folks more of everything they want in a truck. More capability, more power, and more smart technology. That's why, for 47 years now, more people have chosen Ford F-Series than any other brand. To test drive a new F-Series yourself and discover a 47-year legacy of toughness, visit your local Ford store today.
This is your home of the Herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
What do you call a group of grown men and women decked out in green and white who get together every Saturday to share a 3-hour-long ritual of jumping, singing, and toasting Miller Lite while yelling, "We are," with someone shouting back "Marshall" over and over again? You call it Miller Time in Huntington. Here's to the Thundering Herd. Here's to the original light beer with only 96 calories. It's Miller Time. Must be 21. Celebrate responsibly.
Buying your dream home. Driving down new roads. Starting that business you've always dreamed of. Sending your kids off to college. Living out your dream retirement. No matter what dreams you have, Encova Insurance can help make them a reality. Visit Encova.com to find an agent in your neighborhood and find out how you can customize your home, auto, and business insurance to fit your needs today. Encova Insurance. We're ready for what's next.
Time now to go one-on-one with the head coach of the Herd, Corny Jackson. Our pregame conversation with Coach Jackson is presented by Marshall Health. We are Marshall Health. With the coach, here's Steve Cotton.
Coach Jackson, your first Sun Belt Conference tournament, sitting in the head coach's chair. What's been through your mind? What's been the message to your team the last few days getting ready for Pensacola?
Well, we've just been trying to prepare for whatever team we come across. And obviously we went to the game last night and watched Georgia State, get the win. So, just been preparing for those guys best we can in the short period that we have here.
So the format this year in the tournament really puts an emphasis on the regular season, maximizing your chances, minimizing the number of games you play. But there is that balance now of taking on a team that played a game last night, got the win. What did you notice from Georgia State out of that game against Georgia Southern?
They came to play. They've been playing better as of late. They got to their spots. They had guys make big plays, and that's what you need in tournament play.
Yeah. 3 20-point scorers in that game. This is a team that can put the ball through the bucket.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? They're talented. They have the big kids down low. They have Lane, who can really get hot, and then they have the one kid who transferred from Northern Illinois, who averaged 15 for 2 years straight. So again, they're talented. They can score. We have to do a great job in transition defense, and we have to do a job guarding the post.
Cesar Edwards in the post and Nick McMullen, that's a pretty formidable duo inside. When they're on, what are they doing well?
I mean, they're making shots. They're strong. They're physical. They can score on the block. They can get putbacks. So, again, they've been a load all year. We've played these guys twice, so we're pretty familiar with them. First game, I want to say they had 42 points in the paint. At our place, they have 46 points in the paint. So we're going to look to try to minimize that today here in Pensacola.
Those two games, Marshall and Georgia State, each team won on the road. And there were two of the bigger offensive outputs of the year. So, number one, what did you do well that let you score? And then number two, what do you want to do differently to keep them from scoring as many?
Well, at our place, we hit tough shots. So we want to try to get some easier looks for our guys today. We got out in transition. Mike Dawson got going from three. And then, brought us back. Really what brought us back in the second half, we pressured those guys. We played more desperate, which actually got us back in the game. But, again, they started off hot. They hit some shots. Lane hit some incredible shots. The big fella was scoring inside at will, inside out. So, again, we have to limit those guys, minimize their transition, and make them work for everything they get today offensively.
Okay, you've been here at the Bay Center a couple of times. What is there anything, I mean, both teams are playing in the same conditions, but the building's different, that kind of thing. What do you think about this building in this tournament?
It's cold. You know, it's really cold in the building. I guess we're playing on top of ice, so it's cold, but it's basketball. The court's the same. The baskets are the same height. So, again, it's tournament time, so you have to go out, you have to play, you have to have players make plays, and everyone has to bring their A game.
What's pleased you about your team's end of the season with 4 wins in a row coming here?
We've been playing pretty well. You know what? I think we've gotten better each game. I was pleased with the way we executed on both ends of the ball down the stretch, and we look forward to keeping that going here in Pensacola. Tournament time,
Same as every other game or something different? People talk about the defense has to show up this time of year.
I mean, it has to show up every game. You know, it's another game, but the stakes are higher. You know, like I said last week, you can kind of see the end goal. The end goal is the NCAA tournament. Some teams have to win 4. Some teams have to win 3. Some teams have to win 2. So it's tournament time. Anything can happen. But you have to be at your best. We have to have guys show up. Our coaching staff has to be on point and in order to get this thing done here in Pensacola.
Looking forward to it, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks. Go Hurt.
Here's Corny Jackson. We'll take a break. We'll return to the Parmar Stores Courtside Show and get a scoreboard update from Brandon Joseph back in the studios. That's coming your way right after this timeout.
Looking for someone you can trust for your kitchen or bathroom remodel? Affordable Contracting Solutions is locally owned and operated with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Affordable Contracting Solutions offers kitchen and bath remodels, decks, and more, on time and on budget. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Affordable Contracting Solutions. Send them a message for a free consultation or give them a call at 800-940-0271.
Victor's Cleaners is the preferred fabric care specialist of Marshall Athletics, celebrating over 100 years of cleaning your game's best. Victor's Cleaners specializes in everything from golf shirts and khakis to sweaters and coats. Simply everything. Stop by one of the 2 convenient locations in Huntington, downtown at 729 6th Avenue and at 5990 U.S. Route 60 East. Give us a call at 304-525-5050. Trust Victor's Cleaners to help get the wrinkles out of your life. Victor's Cleaners, proud partner of Marshall Athletics.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
At Marshall Health, we work together on and off the field to achieve a level of healthcare unmatched in our region. We partner with patients, physicians, care teams, and communities to deliver specialized care to get you healthy and keep you in the game. Together, we are proving that great healthcare changes lives. That's the power of we. Learn more at 304-691-1600 or marshallhealth.org. We are Marshall Health. Go Herd!
Are you ready to show your thunderous support for Marshall Thundering Herd basketball? Turn to the winning team at Thornhill Auto Group. We are revved up to back the Herd with unbeatable deals on new and pre-owned vehicles. Drive in style and join the Thundering Herd spirit. Thornhill Auto Group, where community and champions collide. Offering new Chevy, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota. Click or come by the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville, Logan, and Belfry, or thornhillautomotive.com. Go Herd! Go Thornhill! We are the road to total savings. See Thornhill for complete details.
As we draw closer to tip-off, it's time to check what's going on around the Sun Belt Conference and the top 25 with a scoreboard update.
Brian Joseph inside our network studios getting you set for Georgia State and Marshall. 4th round of the Sun Belt Men's Championship, the ladder system. Winner will try to move on to tomorrow's action to take on a very big game moving forward in the Sun Belt. As every game matters, they will take on, the winner of this contest will take on Arkansas State. That will be a 6:30 Eastern tip-off tomorrow afternoon. Conversely, the 8 o'clock tip-off, 8:30 tip-off tonight will be Appalachian State and Old Dominion, with the winner of that one facing the 3 seed Troy at about 9 o'clock on Saturday. Moving forward there, then Sunday, the winner of the top half of the bracket, that Arkansas State, either Marshall, Georgia State winner will face number 1 seeded South Alabama, and then the Troy or either Appalachian State Old Dominion winner will face James Madison, and the winners from those 2 contests will meet for the Sun Belt Championship on Monday. The women were in action just finished up on the floor there at the Pensacola Bay Center in Pensacola, Florida. It is your Thundering Herd knocking off Appalachian State 75-66. That means tomorrow they will move on at 3:30 to face the number 3 seed in the Sun Belt Women's Tournament, the Troy Trojans. As the other side of the ladder, we'll see number 4 Coastal Carolina take on number 8 Georgia State. That game will tip off at 1 o'clock, so that 2:30 tip-off. A rough estimate could be about 2:30 or a little bit after that time, 3:30 Eastern time. Got some other conference tournaments in action. We'll update you really quickly on that moving forward, but top 25 action tonight. Number 18, Purdue, 21-9 overall, 13-6 in the Big Ten. They take on Illinois and Champaign in a nationally televised game. Also tonight in the top 25, number 16, Memphis. So they are at home at the FedEx Forum. They will take on South Florida for a 9 p.m. tip-off. Memphis comes into the day 15-2 in the American, looking to be one of those top seeds. They are currently locking down the number 1 seed in the American conference with their tournament beginning next Friday. Over in the top 25 for tomorrow's slate, big slate of action we'll take a look at now. Huge implications moving forward. Number 6, St. John's, they are the winner of the Big East. They will be the number 1 seed in the Big East tournament. However, they take on number 20, Marquette in Milwaukee. That game will tip off at 12 noon. Tipping off at noon, also over in the SEC, number 19, Kentucky takes on number 15, Missouri. And a noon tip-off in Fayetteville, Arkansas, with Arkansas, one of the teams that's either, depending on where you look at, one of the last 4 in or just outside of that bubble. They will be at home for their regular season SEC finale by taking on number 25, Mississippi State. John Calipari says this is a must-win for the Razorbacks if they want to cement themselves in the NCAA tournament. A 1 o'clock tip-off over in Madison, Wisconsin. Number 12, Wisconsin will take on Penn State. 1:30 tip-off, we'll see number 10, Iowa State travel to Manhattan, Kansas, to take on the Wildcats of Kansas State. Back over in the SEC for a 2 o'clock tip-off, number 4, Tennessee at home in Knoxville takes on the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Also tipping off at 2 in a nationally televised game, number 14, Louisville at the Yum Center will take on Stanford. 2:30 tip-off, Neville Arena, Auburn, Alabama. The number 1 ranked team in the land, the Auburn Tigers, will take on number 7, Alabama. These two teams met as a 1-2 matchups 2 weekends ago where Auburn beat Alabama 94-85. That game, Johnny Broome dropped 19 points and had 14 rebounds. As a prospective player of the year, looks to back that up in a 2:30 Eastern tip. 3 o'clock tip-off at College Park, Maryland. Number 13, Maryland. The Terrapins will welcome in the Wildcats of Northwestern. A 4 o'clock tip-off in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Maravich Assembly Center will see the LSU Tigers take on number 22, Texas A&M. There'll be a 4:30 tip-off in Lawrence, Kansas at Fog Allen Fieldhouse as the Jayhawks will take on number 24, Arizona. The Jayhawks, a bubble team. They're in a must-win against the ranked Arizona Wildcats. 6 o'clock tip-off the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida. Number 5, Florida will take on Ole Miss. Back over in the ACC, 11th ranked Clemson will take on Virginia Tech in Clemson, South Carolina at Little John Coliseum, once again for a 6 o'clock tip-off. The big matchup, missing a little bit of flair this year, is number 2, Duke, dominant in the ACC, 18-1. 27-3 overall. They will travel, make the short drive over to Chapel Hill to take on North Carolina. 20-11, 13-6 in the ACC. Hubert Davis's North Carolina Tar Heels, a fringe bubble team, one of the next 4 out in a lot of brackets, must win this game and have a good showing in the ACC tournament to make the national NCAA tournament. That game will tip off at 6:30. 8 o'clock tip-off over in Tempe, Arizona. Arizona State will take on number 9, Texas Tech. Late night action, number 10. At 10 o'clock, number 3, Houston will travel to Waco to take on Baylor. And Utah will take on number 23, BYU over in Provo. A couple of games of notes for other conference tournaments going on. In the Missouri Valley, the quarterfinals will see Drake match up as they move on. They beat Southern Illinois 70-53. They will take on Belmont tomorrow as they beat Illinois State 76-63. Huge matchup in the Big South. High Point beats Gardner-Webb this afternoon 85-64. They will take on Radford, who upset Presbyterian 74-69. 70-69. A couple of games in action of conference tournaments over in the Colonial. Hofstra, they are up on North Carolina A&T big in the first round of that tournament. And over in the SoCon, Mercer and Western Carolina deadlocked at 29 at the half. We'll take a break. We'll head back to the Pensacola Bay Center as we are getting closer to tip-off between Marshall and Georgia State. The fourth round of the Sun Belt Men's Championship will come closer next here on the West Virginia Lottery, Thunder and Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Tyler Mountain Spring Water, a proud partner of Marshall Athletics, has been serving customers across Herd Country since 1930. Customers we are serving include home, office, and industry. Tyler Mountain Water also now makes available office coffee service, traditional packs, and K-Cups. Tyler Mountain Water, where good taste just comes naturally. Clear and fresh, Tyler Mountain is the best. The height of perfection, the peak of purity. Tyler Mountain Spring Water, where good taste just comes naturally.
When the unexpected happens, it's good to know that you can count on Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, the official restoration partner of Marshall Athletics. Whether it's fire, smoke, flood, or storm damage at your home or business, you can rest assured that we have helped thousands of customers just like you with the right people, equipment, and expertise. We are ready to respond 24 hours a day to get you back on your feet.
This is your home of the Herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether it's a septic clean out, locating a tank, or pumping grease traps, One Way Septic has you covered. Hosting an outdoor event, Rent-A-Can is the perfect solution to keep things running smoothly. Offering portable restrooms, luxury restroom trailers, hand washing stations, and more. Our friendly staff is here to take care of your needs. We also offer roll-off dumpsters too. One Way Septic and Rent-A-Can. Visit us online at onewayseptic.com or call us today at 304-429-5218.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Well, Corny Jackson's Thundering Herd has exited the court here in the Pensacola Bay Center. Final instructions in the locker room as Jackson and his herd will try to make it a big day, a double dip for Marshall University's basketball teams. The women's team has already won today, has won 4 days in a row here in the Bay Center, dating back to last year when Marshall won 3 games to take the Sun Belt Conference Women's Tournament Championship. 7 straight wins by Marshall women's basketball here along the Gulf Coast of Florida. Herd went 1-1 the previous year, so 8-1 all time for 3 different head coaches. Tony Kemper was the coach the first year, got a win over Coastal Carolina before falling to James Madison, the ultimate champion. Last year, Kim Caldwell ran through the 3 games to take the title. And this year, 4-0 already for Coach Julie Folks. The unusual format means that Marshall, as a team that was relegated to playing in the first day, has to win 7 games in 7 days. Well, that's a big task, a huge dream. The dream's still alive. Marshall will play its 5th game in 5 days tomorrow. It's a 3:30 scheduled start for the Herd and the number 3 seeded Troy Trojans. Now the women's teams have left the floor. It's over to the men's teams now for the next little bit. And 2 games tonight. The Thundering Herd and Georgia State will start it off. The 2 teams split the 2 regular season meetings. And each team won on the other's home floor, and it was just a week apart between the 2. So it's a rubber match. It's a rematch. Last year, Marshall in the first game of the tournament also played and beat Georgia State. The Herd will try to do it again. Day 4 action, but game 1 for Corny Jackson's Thundering Herd here at the Pensacola Bay Center. It continues after this.
We are Marshall.
This crowd's ready to roar. Oh, great swish.
New era, same thunder.
360 degrees slam.
We are ready.
Launches his first career three. Knocks it down.
Drive, a finger roll, good. And he got it off in time. Marshall wins.
This is Herd Country. Learfield presents Marshall University Basketball. Today's broadcast of Thundering Herd Basketball is sponsored by the West Virginia Lottery. It could happen to you. Play in store and online with iPlay. Download the WV Lottery app today. Visit WVLottery.com and check out our contests on Facebook or Instagram. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. Marshall Health. We are Marshall Health. Miller Lite, the original light beer. Ford, there's more in store. It's game time on the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield. Let's head courtside. Here's the voice of the herd, Steve Cotton.
Brent Joseph inside our network studios getting you set for Marshall basketball as they're at the Pensacola Bay Center as they take on the Georgia State Panthers. Tip off in about 9 minutes. Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network. Marshall's women cleared the court just a couple minutes ago after a 75-66 victory over Appalachian State. Can the men make it 2 in one night? Find out as we get the Marshall Health starting lineup and tip-off coming up next here on the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network.
For more than 4 decades now, Ford F-Series has given hard-working folks more of everything they want in a truck. More capability, more power, and more smart technology. That's why, for 47 years now, more people have chosen Ford F-Series than any other brand. To test drive a new F-Series yourself and discover a 47-year legacy of toughness, visit your local Ford store today.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Glenn's Sporting Goods has the largest Marshall department ever in the tri-state area. Ladies, men's, kids, and even a pet section, Glenn's has something for the entire family. With brands like Nike, Champion, and Under Armour, Glenn's will have your closet full of Marshall gear for game day. Glenn's is an official Nike sideline dealer with all the latest designs. Glenn's has it all from Marshall accessories to tailgating essentials. Glenn's is the Herd headquarters. Glenn's Sporting Goods, 3rd Avenue and 11th Street, downtown Huntington.
The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, the exclusive provider of sports medicine services to Marshall University Athletics, is pleased to offer walk-in clinics 6 days a week. Full service appointments are available on a walk-in basis weekdays from 9 until 3, and a screening clinic is conducted Saturday mornings 8 to 10. No appointment necessary. For more information, call 304-691-1880. The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, taking care of the herd, taking care of you.
And back here at the Pensacola Bay Center, they still have both teams in the locker rooms as we march toward tip-off for the Thundering Herd. And Marshall's first action on the men's bracket this year. Day 4 of the tournament. The Herd, as the number 5 seed, advances to this action. 5 and 6 seeds play their first games today. 3 and 4 jump in tomorrow. The numbers 1 and 2 seeds don't have to play until Sunday. That's the semifinals. So the format this year made the regular season finish so hugely important. And, well, now there's the other factor because you have teams that have played already, like Georgia State played last night, got a win. Big game, important win against arch rival Georgia Southern. And after that, they have some confidence already. they've played in this building because the games have been going on all week long since Tuesday. The Marshall men, just as they came out for warm-ups a while ago, were on the floor for the very first time. And so that first day when you play team, and the Herd's not played for a week, so you kind of wonder, is that going to be a disadvantage for the Herd after a few games? And we'll see how that plays out with the Marshall women's team, which will be playing for the 5th time in 5 days tomorrow. You figure you need that rest, and, you know, you're at an advantage over a team that might have played all those games. But how do you dig deep, you're tired, be tired next week. So, again, the format this year, something different. We'll see how it goes. It's a big experiment for everybody. How do you handle your various spots? The teams, number 1 seed, number 2 seed, that don't play until Sunday, they will have been 10 days between games. And you might play a team that's played 1 or 2, however many games. But, again, they have some experience and are playing well enough to have won. And Marshall deals with that with Georgia State here today. So how's it going to play out? We'll find out before too long. The teams are back on the floor getting ready for round 3 between Marshall and Georgia State University. And the Herd and the Panthers both on the floor for this one. Starting lineups are brought to you by Marshall Health. We are Marshall Health. And for Marshall, that lineup has gotten the Herd to this point with now 4 consecutive games to end the season. And that, we'll see. Can you make it 5 in a row? Dzane Mingo, Jalen Spear, Michael Dawson, Obina Anachili-Killen, and Nate Martin, the 5 who've been out there for the Herd and gotten the job done for Coach Corny Jackson late in the season. Mingo, the 6'4 junior from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Jalen Spear, 6'1 grad student from Gainesville, Florida, transfer from Florida A&M University, averaging 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists per game, and a guy who has hit 35% from beyond the three-point line. Mike Dawson, grad student from right there in Huntington, West Virginia, 6 feet 5 inches tall, 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game for Dawson. And the inside duo of Obina Anachili-Killen and Nate Martin, that most of the time gives Marshall a decided advantage inside, and that'll be a big part of this game. We'll keep our eye on that one. We'll keep our eye in the paint. Brought to you by the West Virginia Building and Construction Trades, always moving forward. Obina and Nate against another strong inside duo of Georgia State in Cesar Edwards and Nick McMullen. But for Marshall, Martin averages 10 points and 8 rebounds a game. Obina, 14 points, 6 rebounds a game, and far and away the Sun Belt Conference's leading shot blocker of the year, 90 of them. That's the starting lineup for Marshall and Coach Corny Jackson. For Georgia State, Malachi Brown's the point guard. He's a 6'1 sophomore from Buford, Georgia. 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Tanari Lane, big-time scorer, 6'5 senior from Atlanta, 14 points, 3 rebounds per game for his hometown team. Really talented freshman, Jelani Hamilton, 6 feet 6 inches tall, a redshirt freshman from also the Atlanta area, Marietta, 10 points, 3 rebounds a game. Highly recruited guy, went to Iowa State a year ago and redshirted there, averaging 10 points and 3 rebounds, like I said, this season for Georgia State. And then the Panthers forwards, Nick McMullen and Cesar Edwards. Edwards, just like Obina Anachili-Killen, was an all Sun Belt Conference second-team performer. 16 points per game leads this team, 7 rebounds per game, and he's also a shot blocker, 45 of those on the season. And his running mate inside is Nick McMullen. McMullen, 6'8", 235 pounds. He's a bull, senior from Greensboro, North Carolina. 10 points, 9.6 rebounds per game. He averages nearly a double-double. well-traveled guy, played a couple of years at Murray State, a couple of years at UNC Asheville, now rounding out his career there. And then there's a big wild card for Georgia State. Zariq Nutter is a 6'7" senior from Newark, New Jersey. He's averaging 14 points per game, mostly off the bench. That's a pretty good number right there. But he is, from time to time, a guy who does much more than that. In fact, and not that it was much more, last night in the win over Georgia Southern, Nutter scored 20 points and was one of 3 guys who scored 20-plus points for Georgia State. It's a strong offensive team, and Nutter's a big part of that. 6'7" senior from Newark, New Jersey, again a transfer from Northern Illinois University. He did not play against Marshall in the first meeting. In the second meeting, and Marshall won that first one at Georgia State. In the second meeting, Georgia State's win in Huntington, he had 5 points. Again, last night, 20 points, 6 rebounds, and if he is on, this can be an entirely different team. Georgia State wearing the blue uniforms, trimmed out in white, as the number 8 seed. Marshall, the 5 seed, the better seed for this game, is designated as the home team. Georgia State's lineup has been introduced right now. They're about to announce the Marshall starters, and before long, we will get this game underway. Delayed start. It's going to end up being about 15 minutes because both of the women's games today went a little bit long. Georgia State had a women's win in Game 1 today over Old Dominion. And interestingly enough, the Panthers were the 8th seed in both the men's and women's brackets. And again, used that game last night, a win over Georgia Southern, to their advantage, and then beat a higher seeded, a better seeded Old Dominion team today. Old Dominion took a while to get rolling. Again, just like the Marshall men, that was their first appearance on the floor here at the Pensacola Bay Center. And it's a different building. Number one, when you walk in, you realize, if you didn't, I should have brought a coat. This is a hockey rink. The Pensacola Solar Bears home. There's ice down there under the floor. They put the covering over the ice, and that's good and well, but it's cold in here. They have, because of the ice and the cool court, they have to keep the air temperature low, or else you have condensation. And that basketball court can turn into an ice rink kind of thing too. A couple of years ago, when they played here for the first time, didn't quite have that under control yet. That was an issue. There was a whole lot of slipping and sliding. Well, the way that you counteract that and keep it from happening is you keep the building very cool. A lot of players keep those chemical hand warmers. You wear warm socks if you're down there on the floor. The broadcast location here at the Bay Center is up above the lower level of stands. We're quite away from the court. And even up here, you make sure the broadcasters are all wearing long sleeves. Some of them wear jackets. And so that's where we are. All right, starting lineups introduced. A delayed start by about 15 minutes, but all of the activities before the game have been taken care of. Again, the starting lineup for Marshall: Dezane Mingo, Jalen Spear, Mike Dawson, Obina Anachili-Killen, and Nate Martin. Heard in the home whites, trimmed out in Kelly Green. Georgia State in the blue with white. Nate Martin's in the jump circle against Cesar Edwards. We're ready to go. The tap controlled by Martin. And the Thundering Herds' first game of this year's Sun Belt Conference tournament is underway. Mingo in the big SBC logo at midcourt goes right, gives to Martin top of the key. Looks left, the handoff to Spear. Hook pass to Dawson on the left wing. A bounce to Martin, back to Spear, still left side wing. Out front, Dawson to Mingo, goes right around an Obina screen. Shot clock down to 10. Mingo to the right baseline, elevates, jump shot, good. Dezane Mingo starts the game with the mid-range jumper, a 16-footer. Jalen Spear knocked a ball away as Georgia State inbounded, but the Panthers keep it under control. Malachi Brown, sophomore point guard, on the dribble. Spear hounds him all the way back near the midcourt line. Jalen backs off a little bit. Ball goes to Hamilton on the right wing. Jelani Hamilton bounces. Nick McMullen at the arc, trying to muscle on Obina. Can't penetrate past the free throw line. Flips it out to Lane. Shot clock down to 2. Lane fires a long off-balance three. It's an air ball, and Marshall has it. So the Herd plays a strong defensive possession, and that'll be a key. It's always a key to play strong defense. But Georgia State, when it's on, high-powered offense. Both of these games in the regular season saw a lot of points. Marshall scored 92 in the win. Georgia State scored 88 in its win over the Herd in the Henderson Center. Marshall back on offense. Jalen Spear top of the key. Overhead pass goes to Obina right. Mingo comes to take the ball. Baseline again. Spins, shoots, and this one's off the back iron, but an offensive rebound by Martin. The kick out to Mingo. Puts it on the deck. Drives. Gets to the rim. Left hand lay in. Good. Right of the rim. Mingo banks it in. DeZane has 4, and Marshall has the early 4-0 lead. You've got Malachi Brown forecourt. And again, Spear, tight defense on him. That's something that the Herd's obviously wanting to do because overplay defense to begin. Ball goes to the right side. You've got Tenari Lane. Tough spinning jump shot. No good off the front of the rim. Nate Martin, another Marshall rebound. 2 minutes into the game, the Herd has the 4-0 lead and is back on offense. Dawson, right wing, 3 on the way. Got it! Dawson with the triple, and a good start for the Herd. Forces a timeout already by Jonas Hayes, the head coach at Georgia State University. Marshall has the 7-0 lead. The Herd's made 3 of 4, including that 3-point shot by Mike Dawson, who now needs one more 3 for 200 in his collegiate career. This is his only year at Marshall, but the timeout taken early by Georgia State University. The Herd fans, and more have come in as the week has gone on, are loving the way Marshall has started this one. Our broadcast is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Marshall University Athletics, and proud to support the Thundering Herd. Pepsi, that's what I like. Jonas Hayes, a 2004 graduate of the University of Georgia. Played a couple of years at Western Carolina University, then played for the Bulldogs along with his twin brother Jarvis Hayes, who is one of his assistants on the Georgia State University bench. Marshall ready to go. The Herd shows a little full court as Georgia State inbounds and the Herd backs off. But for Jalen Spear again, he's going to be right with Malachi Brown all the way up the floor. Brown crosses the timeline, moves toward the left sideline. Spear swatting at the basketball right in his grill. They set a high screen. Marshall switches. Mingo now on Brown, who finally gets rid of it to Hamilton for a spinning 3. Good deep on the left wing. The freshman, Jelani Hamilton, knocked down a big 3, and that quiets the Marshall crowd for a moment anyway. 7-3, the Panthers on the board nearly 2.5 minutes into the game before they scored, and we've got a foul by Malachi Brown out front, swatting at the ball against Mingo. Brown had the Marshall players, mostly Spear, but also Mingo, hounding him, so he tried to do the same, but he made contact. Marshall inbounds. Mingo has it out front. Pick and roll. Lob to Nate Martin. Catch and lay in good. Martin left, caught it, and before he came down, laid it off the glass, and Marshall has the 9-3 lead. 17-17 on the clock. Again, Spear swatting at the basketball as Brown got it over the timeline. Sends the lane. Up top, Jelani Hamilton to the high post. Catch there by Edwards. And the ball tipped away, but now we'll have a foul. Mingo reached in after Hamilton got the ball back, and DeZane's called for his first foul. That'll recycle the shot clock, which had gone down to 9-20, and Georgia State will inbound under the basket. So Mingo 4 points, Dawson 3, and a Nate Martin 2, and the Herd has the 9-3 lead 3 minutes into the game. Brown will trigger it in, baseline right. Looking under the basket, can't find anybody there, has to lob it out near midcourt to Tenari Lane. Cross-court right to Hamilton, driving on Mingo, gets within 10 feet, high off the glass, good. Jelani Hamilton has 5 already, all of the scoring for Georgia State from him. The freshman, 9-5, Marshall back on offense. Jalen Spear has it at the left hash mark. Martin comes to set the screen. Spear right around the pick. Feeds to Obina. Right side jump shot too strong. Offensive rebound, though, Nate Martin. He's off to a really good start. Martin dribbles to the free throw line and passes it up top to Mingo for a reset. DeZane around a screen. Goes to the free throw line for a jump shot on the iron. Rolls off. No good. Rebound touched by Obina out of bounds. It goes to Georgia State. Marshall 9, Panthers 5, 16:24 to go. Nate Martin for the Herd. Couple of offensive rebounds already and 3 total rebounds to start the game to go along with his lay-in. 9-5, Marshall leads it. Georgia State up the floor Spear again tight on Malachi Brown. Hurd obviously hoping to cause him problems. Ball to McMullen at the left hash. One-hand pass out to Hamilton, who's off to the hot start. Mingo on Hamilton, right around a screen. Pulls up, three on the way, off the mark. Obina runs it down for Marshall. Anachili Killen, long pass forecourt, intended for Mingo, deflected out of bounds by Hamilton. Marshall will have the ball after a timeout. The Herd men's team underway here in Pensacola. 15:57 to go. Marshall 9, Georgia State 5. Will break and return to the Bay Center after you hear this.
Looking for someone you can trust for your kitchen or bathroom remodel? Affordable Contracting Solutions is locally owned and operated with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Affordable Contracting Solutions offers kitchen and bath remodels, decks, and more, on time and on budget. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Affordable Contracting Solutions. Send them a message for a free consultation or give them a call at 800-940-0271.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
$15 minutes, 57 seconds to go. Marshall 9, Georgia State 5 as the Herd begins its Sun Belt Tournament play. Marshall has started the game by hitting 4 of 7 from the field, including a three-pointer by Mike Dawson. Our broadcast is brought to you by Thunder Beverages, proud local distributors of Miller Lite, Coors Light, Corona, Heineken, Sam Adams, and so much more. It's Marshall's basketball out of the timeout again, 16:57 to go. The Herd still has its 5 starters in the game. Dawson will inbound at the right hash mark, Marshall's end of the floor, which is the hoop to our right as you look at your radio or your device here in the first half. Mingo at midcourt, Brown on him, ball to Dawson high on the left wing. Guarded there by Hamilton. Dawson can't get free, gives to Mingo back near midcourt. Herd resets with 10 on the shot clock. Mingo right around a pick by Martin. Drives, turns the corner, through the lane. Left hand reverse, no good. Martin keeps it alive. Martin with a rebound to kick out. Dawson, left side three, got it. Dawson with a couple of three-pointers. Nate Martin doing huge work on the offensive glass, and the Herd has the 12-5 lead. 15, 23, and 22 on the clock. Malachi Brown forecourt working on Spear. Goes to the right wing, gives a bounce to Hamilton, baseline right. Spinning on Mingo, gets around the Zane, and the bigger player lays it in. Jelani Hamilton has all 7 points for Georgia State. 12-7, Marshall by 5, and the Herd back to its end of the floor. Mingo over the timeline, picked up man-to-man by Brown. DeZane sends it left to Obina, then circles and takes the handoff, goes to the left baseline, jump shot, no good on a 12-footer. Martin kept the rebound alive again, but it's touched by Nate out of bounds to Georgia State. Mingo had gotten wide open, but his jump shot on the left baseline went in and out. Marshall's lead at 5. Georgia State trying to get back within a possession of the thundering Herd. Brown in the midcourt logo. Spear jumps again out on him. Drifts left, gives a bounce on the wing. Here's a drive by Hamilton. Spinning shot at the left elbow. Good. Hamilton has 9 already. Wow. 12-9, Marshall on top. Herd's Mingo forecourt. Started right, drifts left, turns the corner, gets a step on Brown all the way to the rim for a floater, but it's no good, and the rebound is tapped and goes to Edwards of Georgia State. So Mingo's had a couple of good-looking moves and shots that haven't gone down. He's made 2 buckets as well. Georgia State down by 3 and with the ball. Tenari Lane up top, fakes the 3, drives down low. Dipsy-do shot, no good. Tip missed. Rebound Nate Martin. Martin long pass to midcourt and Spear. Ahead to Mingo, back to Spear for a right side 3. Off the back iron, no good. Hamilton rebounds. That freshman is everywhere right now. He's the only guy who's done much for Georgia State. And he pulls up for a 3 that's no good. Martin grabs the rebound. Nate Martin already has 6 rebounds. How about that? 13:30 to go. Marshall by 3 and with the ball. Jalen Spear comes high and right, takes it away from Dzane Mingo. Guarded by Hamilton. Martin sets a screen. Pick and pop, give to Nate. Back to Spear. Drifts left to the free throw line. Puts up the floater and hits it. A one-hand runner for Jalen Spear. Marshall 14, Georgia State 9. 13:15 on the clock. Spear tight again on Brown, who goes front court. Goes to the left wing and gives it to Hamilton. I'd give it to Hamilton right now, too. He moves to the side of the lane, spins, shot blocked by Obina. Rebound loose in the lane, picked up by McMullen. He forces it up and scores it off the glass. So Marshall blocked the shot, but it goes to Georgia State for a bucket, and the Panthers are back within 3 as we cross 13 minutes to go. 14-11 Herd. Jalen Spear left of center. Martin sets the screen. Spear turns the corner, and as he drives, the ball's poked away, but the steal won't count for Georgia State because Spear was hacked on the arm. And Hamilton picks up the foul, his first. Marshall would love to see him hit with a couple more fouls. Jelani Hamilton, 9 points already. Marshall leads at 14-11. Marshall inserts into the lineup Jacob Gibbs. Mingo goes out. Jalen Spear to inbound baseline left. Gives to Gibbs in the left corner. A drive, gets to the lane. Missed the shot, but keeps his own rebound alive to Dawson for a right corner 3. Air ball. Another rebound for Jacob Gibbs. 3rd try at it for Marshall on this possession. Shot clock hasn't reset. Marshall never hit the rim. Down to 5. A lob. Too tall. Marshall trying to save it, and it goes to Georgia State. Cesar Edwards finally got the ball there. Hurd had several tries at it, but it's still a 3-point lead for Marshall, 14-11. Up top, an Edwards 3 is good, and this game is tied. Cesar Edwards, big man, is a good 3-point shooter. Doesn't shoot a huge number of them, but he hits 43%, and it's a tie game. Marshall's Dawson on the right wing, bounces to Martin, posted up, kicks it up top. Jalen Spear fakes the 3, dribbles into the paint, kicks to Dawson, right wing jumper, in and out on a long 2-point shot, and the rebound is taken by Edwards. Georgia State has a chance to take its first lead of the game. 11:45 to go. You have Zarik Nutter out front on the dribble. Gives to Malik Ferguson left side. Up top, they'll send it. Hamilton. Hamilton sliding down the paint left side. Tries a reverse lay-in. No good. Martin might have blocked that one. Martin gets the rebound. Spear ahead over the top to Dawson. A right side drive. Has it stripped away, but it's out of bounds off of Georgia State. Marshall will have the ball after a timeout. Georgia State saw Marshall jump out early, but the Herd has seen Georgia State come back to tie it. 11:30 to go. We're in the first half at the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Tie game. Marshall and Georgia State even at 14. We will be right back.
Hey there, Herd fans. If you or someone you know needs a lawyer related to an injury or wrongful death case, we highly recommend you choose Stephen New & Associates as your lawyers. Stephen is a proud graduate of Marshall University, and for more than 25 years, he has fought for West Virginia clients and their families. Stephen New & Associates are the official injury attorneys of Marshall Athletics, and they truly care about every client they serve. Go Herd.
This is your home of the Herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether it's a septic clean out, locating a tank, or pumping grease traps, One Way Septic has you covered. Hosting an outdoor event, Rent-A-Can is the perfect solution to keep things running smoothly. Offering portable restrooms, luxury restroom trailers, hand washing stations, and more. Our friendly staff is here to take care of your needs. We also offer roll-off dumpsters too. One Way Septic and Rent-A-Can. Visit us online at onewayseptic.com or call us today at 304-429-5218.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Tie game at the Bay Center. Marshall and Georgia State, 14-14. 11:30 to go in the first half. Pepsi is the official soft drink of Marshall University Athletics and proud to support the Thundering Herd. Pepsi, that's what I like. Well, Marshall got off to the quick start. Good answer by Georgia State, mainly because of redshirt freshman Jelani Hamilton, who in 8.5 minutes of play has already gone 4 for 8 from the field, including 1 of 3 on three-pointers. For Marshall, Nate Martin already has 7 rebounds, 2 points for Big Nate. Herd huddled up around Corny Jackson, Marshall's rookie head coach, looking for win number 20 in his initial campaign. 19-12 for Marshall coming in. The Herd went 12-6 in Sun Belt Conference play. Marshall goes to the bench here and brings in Eric Harding for some early minutes. Harding, the 6'10 freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Kai Spears, the walk-on sophomore from Pittsburgh, in the game. Marshall on its end, inbounds to Obina, right side, moves to the elbow for a fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebounded by Malik Ferguson for Georgia State. Panthers look to take the lead. Ferguson right around a high screen from McMullen. Gives the ball up on the right wing. Should have been, I thought, a traveling call on Nutter, and then he loses the ball out of bounds, so it's a turnover either way to Marshall. Took a big hop and teetering on the end line, lost it. Clash Peters checks in. He had suffered a concussion and didn't play in either of those games between these two teams. 6'9", 230-pound freshman from California who averages 2 points, 5 rebounds a game. Clash Peters. Mingo back in on the point for the Herd. Lost the ball, but it goes to Harding. Eric Harding above the free throw line. Kicks it back to Mingo on the right point. Tie game. Mingo weaves to the free throw line. His pass off the fingertips of Obina. He nearly lost it out of bounds, but saves it into Mingo. Kind of a sloppy possession for the Herd. 8 on the shot clock. Mingo goes left. Kicks into the corner. Here's a 3 by Gibbs, blocked out of bounds. Marshall keeps it. 4 on the shot clock. Ball's been everywhere on this trip for the Thundering Herd. So 4 to shoot. Mingo takes it out of bounds in the left corner. Officials step in and give a little talking to Cesar Edwards and Obina Anachili Killen. Now Mingo into Harding. A handoff back to Mingo. 3 to shoot. Mingo curls to the right elbow. Jump shot off the iron, no good. Harding keeps the rebound alive, but Zarik Nutter grabs it for Georgia State. Panthers working up the floor. Kai Spears defending out front. Nutter gets a step on him, and then on a drive is fouled, and we're going to have free throws for Georgia State. And the Panthers have a chance to take their first lead of the game. Harding's called for his first foul. That's 2 on the Herd. And Zarik Nutter, out of Newark, New Jersey, a Northern Illinois transfer, will shoot 2. He's a 61% man at the line on the year, and he misses the first one, still tied. Nutter averaged 16 points for Northern Illinois last year before transferring. Nate Martin, Mike Dawson, Jalen Spear all return to the lineup for the Herd. One more try for Nutter to put his team on top. And he gets the roll this time. A lot of iron, but Georgia State leads it now, 15-14. Herd will try to go back on top. Zane Mingo right up the middle of the floor, met by Ferguson as he gets to the timeline. Ferguson swatting at the basketball. Harding comes high to set a screen. Mingo right around that, curls, gets to the right wing, turns the corner, draws the defense, shovels it underneath to Harding, and it's taken away by Georgia State. Panthers up the floor in a hurry. They give the ball to Edwards off the left side of the paint, halfway up, spinning hook shot is good. That's his move. Cesar Edwards has 5. Georgia State is on a 6-0 run and has the 17-14 lead. It's been a while since Marshall has scored. Mingo up top, left around a couple of screeners, gives to Martin, who stayed up high. Handoff back to Jalen Spear to the left side wing. Mingo fakes the three, drives, dishes to Martin underneath. His shot is blocked, but a foul is going to be called, probably on Clash Peters. Should be Martin to the free throw line. Ferguson was doubling down, and he could get called. It will be called on him. He reached in and slapped Martin as he went up for the shot. One on Ferguson. And Nate Martin to the free throw line for two. Nate's just a 56% man on the year, but in the last 7 games went 22 of 30, well over 70%. And he gets the first one. A lot of iron, but Nate Martin got the shooter's roll on the free throw. 17-15. Cade Gibbs is in for Marshall. Martin's second free throw also good. So Nate has 4 points and 7 rebounds already. 17-16, Georgia State leads. Nutter up top, goes right, fires one to Peters, baseline right, and then he throws it away. Martin might have deflected it. Which way is this one going? Martin did touch it. The pass was going to, I think, go out of bounds anyway, but Nate got a finger on it, and it stays with Georgia State. 18 on the shot clock. Panthers up 1, 9:22 to go in the first half. Ball inbounds to Tenari Lane high on the left side wing. Pass up front. Ferguson goes right around the screen. Gets a step on Dawson. Drives down low, but his shot is blocked maybe by Martin, who touched it last. It's out of bounds, and it might be the Hurds ball or no. 6 to shoot a stand with Georgia State. Well defended by Big Nate. He's had a great start for the Thundering Herd. Georgia State will inbound, 6 on the shot clock. Take it out of bounds, baseline right. Ferguson in for a lane three-pointer. Got it in the left corner. He spun and knocked it down, and then we've got a whistle on the other side of the floor. I think a foul is going to be called on Peters, but it was after the bucket, I believe. Scoreboard. Let's see. All right, they make it a 2-point shot for Lane. So it's 19-16, and then Peters with a foul after the bucket was good. Mingo forecourt, guarded by Ferguson man-to-man to the left hash mark, curls right around the Martin screen, gets to the free throw line. His fadeaway jumper's blocked, but Mingo gets his own miss. Hurd feeds Dawson for a 3 on the left side air ball. Offensive rebound, though, Cade Gibbs. Gives to Spear on the right wing, moves to the baseline, backs it up, flips to Gibbs, gets it back, shot clock at 4. Feed down low to Cade Gibbs, right of the rim, layup no good, hangs on the iron, and then it gets wedged between the backboard and the rim. That means the possession arrow comes into play, and it's going to be Georgia State's basketball. Kai Spears returns for Martin. Mingo goes out. You've got Jalen Spear, Kai Spears, Mike Dawson, Cade Gibbs, Nate Martin in the game. 8.5 clock rolls, 19-16. The Panthers have the lead in the basketball. Sariq Nutter dribbles top of the key. Dawson has him. Tries to go right, then left around an Edwards screen. Pick and roll lob to Cesar Edwards. Cade Gibbs jumps in and takes it away from him. Marshall with a nice defensive play by Gibbs. The Herd's in transition. Here's Spear, pull up 3. He rattles it in, tie game. Jalen Spear, who had 25 against the Panthers in Atlanta, including 5 of 8 threes, knots this one at the 8-minute mark. Panthers forecourt. Ferguson turns and drives hard, and there's a big collision, and is this a charge or a block? Which way does it go? Blocking foul called. Free throws for Georgia State after a timeout. Tie game. Under 8-minute media timeout. Marshall and Georgia State, 19 all. 7:56 to play in the first half. We're back in Pensacola after this.
Glenn's Sporting Goods has the largest Marshall department ever in the tri-state area. Ladies, men's, kids, and even a pet section, Glenn's has something for the entire family. With brands like Nike, Champion, and Under Armour, Glenn's will have your closet full of Marshall gear for game day. Glenn's is an official Nike sideline dealer with all the latest designs. Glenn's has it all from Marshall accessories to tailgating essentials. Glenn's is the Herd headquarters. Glenn's Sporting Goods, 3rd Avenue and 11th Street, downtown Huntington.
Buying your dream home, driving down new roads, starting that business you've always dreamed of, sending your kids off to college, living out your dream retirement.
No matter what dreams you have, Encova Insurance can help make them a reality. Visit Encova.com to find an agent in your neighborhood and find out how you can customize your home, auto, and business insurance to fit your needs today. Encova Insurance. We're ready for what's next.
Seven minutes, 56 seconds to play. First half, Marshall against Georgia State. Thundering Herd and the Panthers tied 19-19. For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to SiriusXM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app. SiriusXM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis. So cheer along with the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025. Marshall is shooting 30%, 7 of 23, whereas Georgia State is 8 of 16, 50%. Panthers look to go back into the lead. Malik Ferguson, sophomore guard from Georgia, Grovetown, Georgia. Shooting in a tie game, makes the first one. He's now 11 of 19 at the year at the free throw line. Hasn't gotten there a lot. Scored 9 points in the first meeting, only 2 in the second meeting between these teams. Gets 2 here on both free throws, 21-19 Panthers. Jalen Spear will dribble it up the floor for the Thundering Herd. In the midcourt logo, guarded by Ferguson, bounces to Martin. Top of the key, pick and roll. Martin off the fingertips of Obina and Achille Killen, who was wide open on the big man to big man pick and roll play, but they couldn't connect. Would have been a dunk. He had nobody between him, Obina, and the rim. But the Herd turns it over. Malachi Brown's in for Ferguson, back playing the point for Georgia State. And Spear again jumps right on him. Ball goes to Tenari Lane on the right wing. Bounce to the middle of the lane for Edwards. A jump shot good. Cesar Edwards was 7 early, and the Panthers have their biggest lead, up 23-19, 7:22 and 21 to go. Jalen Spear working the point, guarded by Brown, gets a screen from Martin, goes left, pass to Kai Spears up top, swings to Obina, 3 on the right wing off the front rim for Obina and Achille Killen, no good. Lane rebounds. Kai Spear tried to tie him up, but Lane ripped it away. Panthers try to continue their run. The Herd's cold right now, and we've got a foul off the ball, and I think that's going to be Achille Killen. First on Obina, 5 team fouls whistled against the Herd. Panthers ball out of bounds. 7:03 to play. 23-19, Georgia State leads it. They get it into Hamilton, up top lane. A bounce to McMullen, straddling the arc on the right point. Guarded by Obina, squares up, dribbles right, spins back left to the free throw line. Back right, bumping, leans in, hook shot no good, but an offensive rebound. Hamilton, left side, spinning shot, that's no good. And we've got bodies everywhere and a foul called, and I think this will be against maybe McMullen of Georgia State, fighting with Achille Killen for the rebound. Physical play. Marshall will have the ball. And I think the officials want to go look at the replay monitor to see what happened. Again, there was a big collision, and so they're going to check that. 6:44 on the clock. Marshall trails Georgia State 23-19. The Thundering Herd has made only one of its last 11 shots from the field. That has allowed Georgia State to go on top. So the officiating crew checking out the monitor. Today's officials are Chris Ford, Tim Fitzgerald, and Hunter Allen. So the teams get, in effect, a free timeout right here, both to talk things over. Corny Jackson has the whiteboard out. Georgia State around Coach Jonas Hayes. Marco gets a big round of applause from the Herd fans here, doing a little dancing down there in front of the Marshall cheerleaders. The band's here. They're all set up behind the hoop to the left. They bring the third official in to look at this as well, so there's something they're checking on. Trying to make a decision. 23-19, Georgia State in front by 4. The winner advances to take on the 4 seed, Arkansas State. Tomorrow's games are backed up a half hour from the times of all the other days because of a fun run event here in downtown Pensacola. They do this every year somewhere in the neighborhood of St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, we're not there yet, but that's just a ballpark figure for that event. Last year, the event, which is in the morning, lasted long enough that some teams coming to the basketball arena couldn't get here because of all the way the traffic was blocked off for the runners.
Common foul. It'll be Marshall's ball in the end line.
They just call it a common foul, so nothing extra with the foul on McMullen. And again, he is a rough and tumble player. You'd better be ready to go fight with him because he's going to take it to you. Marshall has his 5 starters in the game now. Mingo, Spear, Dawson, Martin, and Anachili Killen. So the Herd has it out of bounds end rear court, down by 4, 23-19, 6 minutes, 44 seconds to go. I don't think Corny Jackson was happy that was not ruled something more than just the common foul. Mingo front court, gives to Martin between the circles. One dribble left, a handoff to Jalen Spear. Curls to the free throw line, pull-up jumper by Spear on the rim, and it goes through good. Hung on the iron forever. Jalen has 7. He cuts the lead in half. 23-21 Panthers now. Brown goes front court and loses it out of bounds. Jalen Spear has been hounding Malachi Brown all game long when he's had the ball, and this time it results in a Georgia State turnover. 4th of the day committed by the Panthers to Marshall's 3. 6:15 on the clock. Herd goes front court down by 2. Obina right point, a handoff to Mingo, circles left, checks it between the rings. Pass back to Spear. 3 on the way for the lead. Got it. Jalen Spear's feeling it right now. He has 10, and Marshall's back on top. Thundering Herd 24, Georgia State 23. Under 6 minutes now to go. Herd fans loving it. Brown up top. Spear got the steal on one end, and then the bucket on the other. Jelani Hamilton takes it just right of center out front beyond the arc. Goes right, turns the corner, gets a step on Mingo, and then a foul called. Obina might have just picked up his second. He blocked the shot. But it is going to be Anachili Killen. He blocked the Hamilton shot, but he got Jelani Hamilton with the body. They're both kind of grabbing their elbows. That might have been the collision point. So Hamilton to shoot 2. He has 9 already on 4 of 9 shooting. Goes to the free throw line for the first time and knocks it down. He's at 76% on the year. He has 10. Cade Gibbs will come in, and Marshall goes smaller with Anachili Killen. 2 fouls, probably to sit for the rest of the half. Tie game, second free throw, good again for Hamilton. Freshman has 11, 25-24 Georgia State. 5:40 to go with Mingo dribbling just shy of midcourt against Brown. Goes across the timeline, past to Nate Martin, top of the key. One dribble left, a handoff to Spear, fakes the 3, goes to the free throw line, pull up Jalen Spear, off the rim this time no good, and Hamilton rebounds. Hamilton himself up the right side, goes front court, goes left to the top of the key. He'll just stop and fire a 3, good. 14 for Jelani Hamilton. And the Panthers are back to a 4-point lead, 28-24 with just over 5 minutes to play in the first half. Martin will drive right himself, gets to the rim and lays it in. Nate Martin from the top of the key all the way to the hoop. Panthers gave him an angle, and Martin took it. 6 points and 7 rebounds for Nate Martin in the first half. We crossed 5 minutes to go. Marshall down 2. Brown, guarded by Martin on a switch, tried to bounce it through traffic. It's poked away, but out of bounds by Cade Gibbs, who got a hand on it. Georgia State will send Tenari Lane out of bounds right in front of the Marshall bench to trigger it in. 2-point game. Ball goes to Hamilton back near midcourt. Working right on Spear, Brown gives to Hamilton. The hot shooter goes to the baseline, and Mingo's going to be called for the bump. And that should be bonus time for Jelani Hamilton. That's 2 on Mingo. So you already have Obina sitting with 2 fouls. Now Mingo has picked up his second, and Hamilton's on the free throw line where he's 2 for 2 and has 14 first half points. Zariq Nutter checks in. Tenari Lane's out. For Marshall, Jacob Gibbs is going to come in, and Mingo sits. Looks like that means Jalen Spear takes over point guard duties. Both of the BGs are in. Cade and Jacob Gibbs. Free throw good. And so Hamilton with 15 already looks for his 16th point. He had 9 against Marshall in Atlanta, had 13 against the Herd in Huntington, has 15 in the first half. Still nearly 5 minutes to play before the break. Free throw up, no good. Martin has his 8th rebound of the day. Some individuals putting up big first half numbers. Marshall down 3. Jalen Spear has the ball inside the arc on the left wing. Back outside, goes right through the top of the key. Gives to Martin inside the three-point line up top. A lob for Dawson, and then losing the ball. He's fallen out of bounds, tried to inbound, and it's tipped away and stolen by Georgia State. And Nutter to the top of the key. Dawson on Zariq Nutter. Pass over to Hamilton above the right hash mark. Jab step, backs up, 3 on the way, off the mark this time. Martin has another rebound for Marshall. 9 of them. Nate all the way up the floor for the Herd. Gives to Dawson, up top to Spear. Fakes the 3, spins to the left elbow, stumbles, keeps the ball alive, still loose on the floor. Panthers get it. They lob it up the floor. Nutter all alone, lay in good. And Marshall has to take a timeout. Well, the Herd was unlucky right there. There is the ongoing issue of a slick floor here because it's over the ice rink. So the Herd had to take the timeout. Spear stumbled, tried to keep it alive. Georgia State gets the run out, and the Panthers have their biggest lead. 3:50 to go in the first half. Georgia State 31, Marshall 26. We're back in Pensacola after this.
When the unexpected happens, it's good to know that you can count on Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, the official restoration partner of Marshall Athletics. Whether it's fire, smoke, flood, or storm damage at your home or business, you can rest assured that we have helped thousands of customers just like you with the right people, equipment, and expertise. We are ready to respond 24 hours a day to get you back on your feet.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Marshall University and Creative Kitchens, 2 hometown teams striving for perfection every day. When it's time to update your kitchen, bath, or any room in your house, call the squad at Creative Kitchens. With more than 60 years of experience, Creative Kitchens is West Virginia's leading kitchen and bath design and remodeling specialist. Stop in one of their beautiful showrooms in Huntington, Hurricane, or Lewisburg, or visit Creative Kitchens online at creativekitchens.com. Creative Kitchens, family serving families since 1959, a proud supporter of the Marshall Thundering Herd.
Hey, Herd fans, we invite you to check out the new University Ford on 5th Avenue in Huntington for a terrific inventory of new 24 and 25 Ford models. University Ford also features a winning roster of attractive used vehicles, great rates, and first-class service. University Ford is led by Marshall graduates and is a proud supporter of Marshall Athletics. We invite you to experience the University way, where integrity, trust, and full transparency redefines your car shopping experience.
.50 to go in the first half. Marshall trails Georgia State by 5, 31-26. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. Well, Marshall has some adversity here in the first half. Down by 5, 31-26, 3:50 on the clock. And 2 starters, Obina Anachili-Killen and Dezane Mingo on the bench with 2 fouls each. Herd ball, Marshall inbounds, Jalen Spear up the right sideline, goes front court and hands it off at the hash to Cade Gibbs. Gibbs, 1 dribble and a bounce to Dawson in the corner. Feed down low to Martin, gives a head fake, goes up, shot rolls off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound, Gibbs though, a kick out, Spear 3. That's off the front rim, no good. And McMullen rebounds for Georgia State. So the Panthers look to add to the 5-point lead. Up top, There's Hamilton, spins into the lane, runner one, no good. Jalen Spear grabs the rebound for Marshall. Spear in traffic, feeds Dawson, right wing, pull up three, Mike Dawson, too strong, long rebound goes to Spear. Left side, he'll fire the three. That's no good. And in a battle for the rebound, there's a big collision underneath, and it looks like this one's going to go against Georgia State. McMullen, that would be his second. That's the call. So McMullen takes a seat. Clash Peters is back in, the freshman, the 6'9", 230-pounder. Spear will take it out of bounds near the basket, baseline right. Gives a bounce underneath, wide open lay in there for Cade Gibbs. Nice cut by Gibbs. Spear found him. And Marshall's within three as we cross 3 minutes to play, 31-28. Hurd now looks for a stop with Zarik Nutter on the dribble near midcourt. Against Dawson, goes left, gets an angle, goes to the rim and lays it in. He got right around Mike Dawson. Nutter has 5. He scored 20 in the Panthers' win over Georgia Southern yesterday. Marshall down 5, Spear ahead, gives to Martin a kick out. Open three, Dawson right wing, no good, too strong. Rebound tapped outside. Dawson gets it back to Spear on the right wing. Back to Dawson at the free throw line. A drive, a dipsy-do shot's no good, but Dawson's fouled. Clash Peters made contact, his second foul, and Mike Dawson will shoot 2. Coach Jonas Hayes says he didn't swat. His hands were straight up in the air. It's not going to change the fact that Dawson's going to the free throw line. Statistically, Marshall's best free throw shooter on the year. Mike has a couple of three-pointers here in the first half. Marshall down 5. At 84% on the year, Dawson eyes free throw number 1, good. 7 for him. Jalen Spear leads Marshall with 10. Nate Martin has 6. Martin also 9 rebounds already. Eric Harding's going to give Nate a break right now. Nate's not been able to leave much with Obina on the bench because of 2 fouls. Dawson to shoot one more, trying to get the Herd within 3. 2:28 to go before halftime. Dawson missed it, in and out. Edwards back in, rebounds for Georgia State. 33-29, Hamilton on the left side point. Gives to Edwards on the wing, squares up on Harding. They clear it out for Cesar Edwards for a running hook shot, good. Left to right through the lane, that's his move. 9 for him, and the Herd's down 6. Georgia State's biggest lead, just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. Spear up top, a behind-the-back dribble, gets into the right elbow for a jump shot that's off the front iron, no good, and Edwards grabs the rebound. Harding kept it alive, but Georgia State looks to continue its run. Here's a drive into the lane by Hamilton, and he shovels it down toward Peters. Marshall's Harding pokes it out of bounds. Panthers ball. Herd's going to get Martin right back in there. Kai Spears also enters for the Herd. Dawson goes out. He and Harding on the bench. They'll mop up the floor. An ongoing problem at the Bay Center. 1:50 on the clock. 35-29. Panthers with a 6-point lead and the ball. Marshall's had another cold streak, just one of its last 7 shots. And the Herd's down to 11 of 35, 31% from the field. And that was after a quick start offensively. All right, ready to go again. Panthers will inbound. They get it to Nutter, right side. We've got a foul called as Nutter went to the rim. His shot rolled off the iron, no good. But Jalen Spear from behind is called for the foul. And so Zarik Nutter to the line. Zarique, senior from Newark, New Jersey. Nutter will shoot 2. Panthers 6 of 8 at the free throw line. And Nutter's first is short. Nutter's 1 for 3 and will shoot 1 more. Dawson's back in. Jacob Gibbs out. Spears, Dawson, Cade Gibbs, Martin on the court. Nutter for 1 more free throw. It is up. It's no good again. Rebound hit the floor, and then Cade Gibbs grabs it for Marshall and finds Kai Spears, who's going to work the point. Herd down 6, 100 seconds to go in the first half. Spears goes right, back left, circles through the top of the key, gives up top to Gibbs. 1 dribble right, a handoff to Jalen Spear. Crossover dribble left. Goes to Martin in the wing, back to Spear up top. Shot clock at 12. Jalen Spear, left wing, in traffic to Mike Dawson. 3 on the way. No good, short. And the rebound taken by Edwards of Georgia State. 1:15 to go. Panthers up 6, back on offense. Hamilton's bumped from behind by Kai Spears. More free throws for Georgia State. First on Spears. But that's 9 on the Herd. A 1+1, and for the rest of the half, 1:15 to go. It'll be double bonus for Georgia State. But 7 fouls whistled against the Panthers. 1+1, Hamilton makes it. Jelani Hamilton, 16 already. Biggest lead now at 7, 36-29. And Hamilton to shoot the bonus. Up and in. Marshall moving up the floor. Ferguson's in at the point for Georgia State, guarding Spear. Marshall gets it to Martin, to Kai Spears, baseline left, a kick out to Jalen Spear. Baseline inside the arc, a bounce to Martin, a drive, a kick to the right corner. Cade Gibbs dribbles in for a 15-footer, too strong. Nate Martin kept the rebound alive, and it's out of bounds off of Georgia State. Martin knocked it off of one of the Panthers. Hurd keeps the ball. Marshall down 8, though. Would love to have something good happen here at the end of the half. Nate Martin gets the inbound pass inside the arc, up top. Jalen Spear, good look at a 3, but it's short off the front rim. And the rebound by Edwards. And the Panthers can add to their lead. They can make it a double-digit affair right now. Hamilton, top of the key, goes to the left elbow, pull up there, off the rim. Rebound tapped around, a whistle as the ball goes to Jalen Spear. And I think this looks like it's going to go against the Herd. They might go to the monitor again here. Yeah, they send each team, all the players, to their respective benches, and the officials huddle up. Pardon me. Herd's down 37-29. And after Marshall jumped out early, Herd's gone just ice cold down on the ice at the Pensacola Bay Center. Floor over the ice rink. So the officials check out the replay monitor. And we'll have to see what happens out of that. Marshall's made just one of its last 10 shots, has missed its last 5. Jalen Spear has 10 for the Herd. Mike Dawson, 7, including a couple of threes. Nate Martin, 6 points, 9 rebounds in the first half. But Jelani Hamilton, the freshman, 17 for Georgia State. And then Cesar Edwards, no surprise. He averages 16 a game to lead the team, has 9. Marshall women won their 4th game in as many days this afternoon, beating Appalachian State. They'll play Troy tomorrow, scheduled for a 3:30 Eastern time start here in Pensacola. Looking to make it 5 wins in 5 days. How about that? Troy, the number 3 seed in this event. Format this year means there's the potential for some very unusual, if not unique, things. How many teams ever have won 5 games in 5 days in any tournament? It has happened, but it's certainly unusual. And then there's that crazy possibility of playing 7 games in 7 days. That'd be quite a run for one of the teams that's in the bottom 4 seeds to start the tournament and has to play day 1. But Marshall is making that, making people think about it, let's say. This is just a long look by the officials at the monitor. Now they're backing away and going to discuss it. 37-29, the Herd trails Georgia State by 8 with 33 seconds to go. So the 3 men wearing stripes are talking about, we're not sure what up here. And In the Bay Center, we're located for the radio broadcast positions up above the lower level of seats, so a long way from the action. Just an explanation that it's hard for the people up here to really get a good grip on what's going on. Now, they do have a microphone for the officials, and they can then explain not only to us but to the crowd what they come up with. And apparently, I guess there are differing opinions here because the conversation continues. Both coaches kind of shaking their heads. Down to 33 seconds in the half, and the crowd's now hooting, wanting whatever the decision is to come about and play ball. All right, they're coming back to the replay position, and they're going to the monitor again. Corny Jackson's grabbed the third official and says, "What's the deal?" On the other end, Jonas Hayes saying, "Somebody come tell me what's going on." And now the official leaves Corny and goes to the Panthers end of the floor. Hayes is pointing one direction. The official's pointing another. Hayes holding his hands above his head as if he's catching or maybe rebounding a basketball. My goodness. Not sure where to go on this one right now, other than to tell you that with, and this is kind of unexpected, the unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. All right, the crowd's frustrated. Both coaches are frustrated. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification along the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Assess the flagrant 2 technical foul for throwing an elbow into space.
All right. They have just assessed flagrant fouls to each team. And Clash Peters is hit with that, which is his third foul. Cade Gibbs is hit for Marshall, his first. 33 seconds to go. Georgia State leads at 37-29, late first half. And we're going to have some free throws. Peters is a bruiser. And when he comes in, there's going to be contact. So Gibbs, they say, kind of grabbed and intentionally held him. Gibbs is going to go shoot free throws for Marshall. Cade Gibbs on the line, 73% on the year, makes the first one. 37-30, and Gibbs to shoot one more. Up and in. So Gibbs has 4 in the first half. Now free throws coming the other way for Georgia State. Hamilton puts one up and in. 18 for him. And 19. Now whose ball? So the free throws cancel out, 2 each way. 33 seconds left. With 2 fouls, Mingo's back out there to play offense. It's Marshall's ball as Dawson inbounds to Mingo. A couple of seconds different between the 2 clocks. Marshall down by 8. Desane Mingo defended man-to-man by Ferguson, who's swatting at the ball, just trying to shorten the half right now. Can't take it all the way down. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Mingo still dribbling back near midcourt. Goes to the right, gives to Martin, top of the key. 8 on the shot clock. Nate Martin beyond the arc. A handoff to Dawson, gives to Spear. Spear puts up a three-pointer and knocks it down right at the end of the shot clock. Georgia State, as they don't even inbound, stand there and let the final seconds go away, and Marshall's back within 5. Jalen Spear hit a late three. It has 13, but Marshall's down by 5 to Georgia State at the half. Hurd's glad to go to the locker room right now and regroup after making only 12 of 39 on the half, whereas Georgia State hit 50%. Marshall trails 39-34. The halftime report brought to you by Thornhill Automotive is next.
Looking for someone you can trust for your kitchen or bathroom remodel? Affordable Contracting Solutions is locally owned and operated with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Affordable Contracting Solutions offers kitchen and bath remodels, decks, and more, on time and on budget. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Affordable Contracting Solutions. Send them a message for a free consultation or give them a call at 800-940-0271.
At Marshall Health, we work together on and off the field to achieve a level of healthcare unmatched in our region. We partner with patients, physicians, care teams, and communities to deliver specialized care to get you healthy and keep you in the game. Together, we are proving that great healthcare changes lives. That's the power of we. Learn more at 304-691-1600 or marshallhealth.org. We are Marshall Health. Go Herd!
This is your home of the Herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you ready to show your thunderous support for Marshall Thundering Herd basketball? Turn to the winning team at Thornhill Auto Group. We are revved up to back the Herd with unbeatable deals on new and pre-owned vehicles. Drive in style and join the Thundering Herd spirit. Thornhill Auto Group, where community and champions collide. Offering new Chevy, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota. Click or come by the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville, Logan, and Belfry, or thornhillautomotive.com. Go Herd, go Thornhill. We are the road to total savings. See Thornhill for complete details.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
"20 minutes are in the books. It's time for the Thornhill Auto Halftime Report. The best offers on miles of cars from West Virginia to Kentucky. Tag your new ride on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Shop thornhillautomotive.com today. Now let's send it back to courtside for a look back at the first half.
Marshall, in its first game of the Sun Belt Tournament, trails at halftime to Georgia State. Panthers thinking about winning their second game in a row. Marshall's first action here. Georgia State 39, Thundering Herd 35. Marshall got off to the quick start. Mike Dawson hit a couple of threes early. The Herd had a 7-point lead at 12-5, just under the first media timeout. Panthers then warmed up, tied it at the under 8-minute media timeout, 19-19. Then Georgia State really got hot, led by Jelani Hamilton, who has 19 points already. He's a redshirt freshman, 5 of 13 from the field, a couple of them threes, 7 of 8 at the free throw line. So Georgia State has the 5-point lead at the half, 39-34 over the Thundering Herd. What has happened elsewhere is going on elsewhere. Brandon's ready with a scoreboard update when the Thornhill Auto Halftime Report continues.
What do you call a group of grown men and women decked out in green and white who get together every Saturday to share a 3-hour-long ritual of jumping, singing, and toasting Miller Lite while yelling, "We are," with someone shouting back "Marshall" over and over again? You call it Miller Time in Huntington. Here's to the Thundering Herd. Here's to the original light beer with only 96 calories. It's Miller Time. Must be 21. Celebrate responsibly.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you will find a Par Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries to snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par Mar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par Mar stores rewards card too. West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Find your location now at parmarstores.com.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Buying your dream home, driving down new roads, starting that business you've always dreamed of, sending your kids off to college, living out your dream retirement. No matter what dreams you have, Encova Insurance can help make them a reality. Visit Encova.com to find an agent in your neighborhood and find out how you can customize your home, auto, and business insurance to fit your needs today. Encova Insurance. We're ready for what's next.
Hey there, Herd fans. If you or someone you know needs a lawyer related to an injury or wrongful death case, we highly recommend you choose Stephen New and Associates as your lawyers. Stephen is a proud graduate of Marshall University, and for more than 25 years, he has fought for West Virginia clients and their families. Stephen New and Associates are the official injury attorneys of Marshall Athletics, and they truly care about every client they serve. Go Herd.
Thornhill Auto Halftime Report rolls on with a check of scores from the Sun Belt Conference and the top 25 with another scoreboard update.
Halftime score at the Pensacola Bay Center. Marshall trails Georgia State 39-34 at the half. Marshall women's were in action a little bit earlier at the same venue, the Pensacola Bay Center, for the Sun Belt Women's Tournament. Their fourth round game against Appalachian State finished with Marshall knocking off the Mountaineers 75-66. The women's team will play tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern, against Troy in the fifth round of the Sun Belt Women's Tournament. Troy comes in as the 3 seed. The winner of that game will face number 2 James Madison on Sunday. Over in the top 25, some action taking place today on the men's side. Just 2 games from the top 25 happening tonight. We'll start over in Illinois as the 18th ranked Purdue Boilermakers will travel to Champaign to take on the Fighting Illini. 8 p.m. tip-off there. The 18th ranked Boilermakers 13-6 in the Big Ten. They're looking for one of the top seeds. They're currently in a deadlock with 3 teams tied for third place. So a couple of buys at stake for Purdue if they can get on the right side of victory this evening. Over in Memphis, the 16th ranked Memphis Tigers, they are taking on the South Florida Bulls. That game will tip off at 9 o'clock. Memphis needs this game despite being the only ranked team in the American Conference. They hold a slim 1-game lead over North Texas. This will be the regular season finale for the Memphis Tigers. A win today will guarantee them the number 1 seed. Tomorrow, there's a full slate of action as most conferences will wrap up their regular season. It starts at noon. Number 6, St. John's. They've already won the Big East, their first Big East title since 1985. They will travel to Milwaukee to take on the Marquette Golden Eagles, who are ranked 20th in the land. Over in the SEC, a ranked battle at noon as number 19, Kentucky, will take on number 15, Missouri. Also tipping off at noon, Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville. Arkansas, the 25th ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs, will travel to take on the Arkansas Razorback. One of the bubble teams, some have them in the first 4 in, last 4 in, some have them in the first 4 out. John Calipari says this team needs to win this game to guarantee themselves a spot in the Big Dance. Number 12, Wisconsin, 1 p.m. tip-off at home in Madison as they take on Penn State. 1:30 tip-off over in Manhattan, Kansas. Number 10, Iowa State will take on Kansas State. 2 o'clock over in Knoxville for number 4, Tennessee, taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks, as well as a 2 o'clock tip-off at the Yum Center in Louisville as the 14th-ranked Louisville Cardinals will take on the Stanford Cardinal. 2:30 tip-off Neville Arena in Auburn, Alabama. The number 1 ranked team in the land, the Auburn Tigers, will take on number 7 Alabama. Alabama looking to avenge a loss against Auburn, 94-85. That game took place just a couple of weekends ago, February the 15th, as Auburn knocked off Alabama. Number 13 Maryland will take on Northwestern. 3 p.m. tip-off in College Park. Number 22 Texas A&M will travel to LSU in Baton Rouge for a 4 o'clock tip-off. Big matchups left in the top 25, including a very historic one. Number 2 Duke will take on North Carolina. That's a 6:30 tip-off. North Carolina needs to win this game to get into the NCAA tournament per their head coach, Hubert Davis. We'll take a break here. On the other side of the break, head back out to the Pensacola Bay Center. Marshall trails by 7 here on the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you ready to show your thunderous support for Marshall Thundering Herd Basketball? Turn to the winning team at Thornhill Auto Group. We are revved up to back the herd with unbeatable deals on new and pre-owned vehicles. Drive in style and join the Thundering Herd spirit. Thornhill Auto Group, where community and champions collide. Offering new Chevy, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota. Click or come by the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville, Logan, and Belfry, or thornhillautomotive.com. Go herd, go Thornhill. We are the road to total savings. See Thornhill for complete details.
The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, the exclusive provider of sports medicine services to Marshall University Athletics, is pleased to offer walk-in clinics 6 days a week. Full-service appointments are available on a walk-in basis weekdays from 9 until 3, and a screening clinic is conducted Saturday mornings 8 to 10. No appointment necessary. For more information, call 304-691-1880. The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, taking care of the herd, taking care of you.
This is your home of the herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Marshall University and Creative Kitchens, 2 hometown teams striving for perfection every day. When it's time to update your kitchen, bath, or any room in your house, call the squad at Creative Kitchens.
With more than 60 years of experience, Creative Kitchens is West Virginia's leading kitchen and bath design and remodeling specialist.
Stop in one of their beautiful showrooms in Huntington, Hurricane, or Lewisburg, or visit Creative Kitchens online at creativekitchens.com.
Creative Kitchens, family serving families since 1959. A proud supporter of the Marshall Thundering Herd.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
(39-34), Marshall trails Georgia State by 5 at the half. Halftime stats brought to you by Marshall Orthopedics, taking care of the herd and taking care of you. The herd has allowed Georgia State to shoot 50%, 13 of 26. Marshall's just at 31%, 12 of 39. The herd will try to change that around in the second half. From the Pensacola Bay Center, Sunbelt Conference tournament action. The herd and the Panthers continue after this.
Victor Athletics.
Looking for someone you can trust for your kitchen or bathroom remodel? Affordable Contracting Solutions is locally owned and operated with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Affordable Contracting Solutions offers kitchen and bath remodels, decks, and more. On time and on budget. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Affordable Contracting Solutions. Send them a message for a free consultation or give them a call at 800-940-0271.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly. Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup
as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season. You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Marshall University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Marshall and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Marshall University.
Marshall's ball to start the second half. Hurd in this session will shoot to the hoop to the left of our broadcast location. Well, Marshall down 5, but the Herd got very little out of Obina Anachili-Killen in the first half. No points, 1 rebound for him, 2 fouls on the bench, and limited time for Dezane Mingo. So Marshall within 5, starts the second half on offense. Mingo has it on the right wing, gets a screen from Martin, goes to the baseline, can't get around Hamilton. The Herd works it up top for a Jalen Spear 3, left of center, no good, in and out, but he's fouled. Oh, so close to a chance at a 4-point play by Jalen Spear, fouled by Tenari Lane as he launched one from the left side point. Boy, that would have been something because it was inside the cylinder and popped back out. 3 free throws for Spear. Marshall 5 of 6 at the line tonight. Jalen had 13 in the first half. Too strong on free throw number 1 for the man who hits 82% on the year before that one. 2 more for Spear, who hit the Panthers for 25 in the first meeting and 15 in game 2. Jalen makes free throw number 2. Spear leads the Herd with 14. Dawson next in line with 7. Jelani Hamilton, 19 in the first half for Georgia State. Spear ends up with 2 out of 3. Panthers up the floor. Hamilton just across midcourt. Flips it to Malachi Brown, left of center, still back near midcourt. Spear right on top of Malachi Brown, who bounces one to Hamilton on the right wing. Hamilton works on Mingo. Ball goes to McMullen, high post. Back out. Malachi Brown's 3-point shot blocked by Obina, who's going to be called for his 3rd. Anachili-Killen can't stay on the floor in this one. He blocked the 3-point shot and has number 3. Marshall down by 3, 39-36. It's going to be 3 free throws from Malachi Brown, who hasn't scored, but he's an 81% free throw shooter. Number 1, good, dead center. As a freshman, played at Seton Hall, then returned to his home state. He's from Buford, Georgia. 40-36, second free throw, 41-36. And he'll shoot 1 more. So we've played 42 seconds in the second half, and we've had 2 fouls on 3-point shots. Brown made all 3 of his. Spear went 2 for 3, so the Panthers extend their lead to 6 now, 42-36. Jalen Spear, front court for Marshall, out front. Drifts to the right side on the dribble. Martin sets a screen. Spear left around that. Then pass to Mingo for a 3 on the right wing. Too strong, long rebound. Georgia State has it. Brown pushes it up the floor. Drive, shot blocked by Obina. Playing with 3 fouls, has to be careful. The rebound goes out though to Brown. Georgia State keeps it. Jelani Hamilton on the right point. Obina battling for position with McMullen. They'll get Hamilton up top, goes left, high off the glass, good over Anachili-Killen. Jelani Hamilton can do no wrong. He has 21. And the Herd's down 8. Jalen Spear, top of the key, goes to the left elbow, passes it back out front for Mingo, gets a screen from Martin, gives to Nate, right back to Mingo, give and go, left side lay-in, no good. Mingo shot off the rim. McMullen clears for Georgia State, which can take a double-digit lead here. And they get it to Hamilton, the shooter. He'll give it up top to Brown. 3 on the way, Malachi Brown. Short. Spear rebounds for Marshall. Still an 8-point game, 2 minutes into the second half. Ball to Dawson, open 3 left wing. That swirls out. Martin has another rebound. And then right on the end line, throws it off the knee of Cesar Edwards, out of bounds to keep it with Marshall. Hurd hit 3 threes early, but is now 5 of 17 after that miss by Dawson. It's Mingo to take it out of bounds. Right side baseline, halfway to the corner. Gets it into Spear. Right back to Mingo under the basket. Up top, Obina. Wide open. 3 on the way. Got it. First points of the game for Anachili Killen, who's out there playing with 3 fouls. He has Marshall back within 5. Brown making Hamilton forecourt on the left wing. Gives the ball to McMullen. Big guy driving on Obina with those 3 fouls. Head fake, goes up, and then he knocks it out of bounds. That was defended very well by Anachili Killen, who had to be careful. McMullen knew that, wanted to bully his way in there, and Obina just stood tall with his hands in the air, didn't commit the foul, and gets the ball for the Herd. 44-39 Panthers, 17-28 and 27 on the clock. Mingo forecourt. Pass to Martin, top of the key. Backdoor cut, ball to Dawson, lay in good. Nice look by Nate Martin. Dawson came streaking through from the left wing. Lay in for Dawson, who has 9. The Herd's within 3. Brown on the right side, high on the wing, goes left around the screen. Then gives on the pick and pop to Edwards. A lob down low, and Dawson knocks it away from McMullen out of bounds. It stays with Georgia State. 14 on the shot clock. Wherever Obina is right now, the Panthers are attacking right there, trying to pick up number 4 on Marshall's big man. Another lecture going on between McMullen and Obina from one of the officials. Brown has it, gives to the left side block, bank shot good. Over Dawson, the score there for Tenari Lane. 46-41 Panthers. Mingo gives to Nate Martin, top of the key. Hurd working a lot of the offense through Big Nate, who dribbles left, hands it off to Spear. On top, 3-pointer by Jalen, no good. Rebounded by Brown of Georgia State. Point guard up the floor himself, goes to the top of the key, turns the corner, drives right, and then he tried to feed through traffic. Nate Martin knocked it away, but it's out of bounds off the Marshall man. So Georgia State will take it out of bounds, 16:35 to play. Second half, Panthers lead Marshall by 5, 46-41. Brown will trigger it in, left side baseline. Looking underneath, finds Lane again through the paint, and we've got a foul called. The shot by Lane went off the basket. And Dawson picks up his first. Second this half on Marshall. Free throws for Georgia State. And Lane, that's twice now. On inbound plays, the ball's gone across the paint to Lane on the block, and he's gotten a bucket, and now free throws. Lane has 4. The lefty puts it up and in. Got the roll. Lane's kind of a three-point guy. About 2/3 of his free throw, or rather field goal attempts, are three-pointers, but twice on inbound plays in the paint. He's hurt Marshall. And his second free throw is no good. Dawson rebounds for Marshall. Goes cross-court left to Mingo, up the floor quickly. Jalen Spear, left corner, fakes the 3. Back up top to Mingo, to the right elbow. Hook pass to Spear, out front, drives, gets through the lane. Paint, shot in the paint, no good. Down low, rebounded by the Panthers, ahead to Hamilton, lay in good. 23 for Jelani Hamilton, and Marshall trails by 8. Dawson, or rather Obina gets down low into the lane, and he is fouled on a shot. Ball rolls off the iron, no good. That close to a chance at a three-point play for Anachili Killen. Instead, he'll get 2 free throws. So Obina's aggressive, even with the 3 fouls. As that went against McMullen, his third. So Anachili Killen's on the free throw line. 70% man on the year. The first of 2 for Obina is good. Marshall's 8 of 10 at the free throw line. Jacob Gibbs comes in for Dawson. Zariq Nutter replaces Nick McMullen for Georgia State. McMullen with the 3 fouls takes a seat. One more for Anachili Killen out of Lagos, Nigeria. The Marshall grad student wanting to extend his career as long as possible. And the second free throw is airborne. It's good. 5 for Obina all this half, 49-43. Panthers by 6 and with the ball. Brown forecourt. To the right point, goes left, spins back right. Chased by Spear, slides down the right side of the lane, just off the paint. A kick out to Edwards, fakes the three, dribbles down low, and a foul called on Marshall. Cesar Edwards will shoot 2 after a timeout. And Jalen Spear picks up his second. 15:55 to go. Georgia State over Marshall at the tournament. 49-43 Panthers. We're back after this.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you will find a Parmar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries to snacks and items for your house, we have it at Parmar Stores. Download the app and sign up for the Parmar Stores rewards card too. West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. Find your location now at parmarstores.com.
Are you ready to show your thunderous support for Marshall Thundering Herd basketball? Turn to the winning team at Thornhill Auto Group. We are revved up to back the Herd with unbeatable deals on new and pre-owned vehicles. Drive in style and join the Thundering Herd spirit. Thornhill Auto Group, where community and champions collide. Offering new Chevy, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota. Click or come by the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville, Logan, and Belfry, or thornhillautomotive.com. Go Herd, go Thornhill. We are the road to total savings. See Thornhill for complete details.
Glenn Sporting Goods has the largest Marshall department ever in the tri-state area. Ladies, men's, kids, and even a pet section, Glenn's has something for the entire family. With brands like Nike, Champion, and Under Armour, Glenn's will have your closet full of Marshall gear for game day. Glenn's is an official Nike sideline dealer with all the latest designs. Glenn's has it all from Marshall accessories to tailgating essentials. Glenn's is the Herd headquarters. Glenn Sporting Goods, 3rd Avenue and 11th Street, downtown Huntington.
Georgia State still up. Panthers 49, Thundering Herd 43. 15 minutes, 55 seconds to go. Game 3 of 4 today. Game 2 saw Marshall win the women's game and advance to take on Troy tomorrow afternoon. Thundering Herd got the win over Appalachian State. Was in control pretty much the entire game for that one. Here, the Panthers have been in front of the Herd for nearly 14 minutes. Marshall's held the lead for under 8 minutes of this contest. Panthers on the free throw line out of a timeout. Again, 15:55 to go in this one. Jalen Spear leads the Herd with 15 points. Jelani Hamilton has 23 already for Georgia State. And Cesar Edwards, 6'10", 235-pound senior, to the line, looking for double digits. He had 9 all in the first half. Guy who played his first 2 college years at Xavier, then went to Missouri State. Now at Georgia State. And his first free throw is short. Right off the front iron. Still a 6-point game, but Edwards to shoot one more. Scored 20-plus each of the 2 regular season meetings, including 27 in Georgia State's win in the Henderson Center. He makes the second free throw, 10 for him. Joining Hamilton in double figures for Georgia State. Mingo up the floor for the Herd, bounces to Jacob Gibbs on the left wing beyond the arc. Another bounce goes to Obina off the left side block. Back and down, fakes to the lane, spins to the baseline, fouled by Nutter. 2 more free throws for Obina and Achille Killen. First on Zarik Nutter, 3 this half against Georgia State. So Achille Killen, who did not score in the first half when he was, hit with a couple of fouls, has 5 in the second half, now 6. Makes the free throw. Marshall 10 of 12, and Obina to shoot one more. Six-point game. Achille Killen will try to get the Herd back within 5. And he does. That was the halftime deficit. It was 39-34 at the half. Brown quickly front court, gives to Hamilton to the left side, a handoff to Nutter. He goes right to the top of the key. Against Martin, a bigger player. Hop into the lane, leans in, scores on a finger roll. 52-45. 15-15 to go. Marshall gets it to Anachili Killen again. Left block. He spins under the basket. Double team comes. He forces his way up, loses the ball. Edwards comes out with a rebound after Georgia State blocked the Anachili Killen shot. And the Herd down by 7, now needs a stop. Nutter again goes left into the lane. Ball's poked away. Can Marshall save it inbounds? Yes, nicely done. Good hustle by Jacob Gibbs, who saves it into Obina. Big man takes it up the floor himself. Left of the logo, goes front court, takes it to the left wing and hands it off to Jacob Gibbs. He goes out front, turns the corner and drives, then dumps it off to Martin inside. Nate elevates and banks it in from left of center. 8 points for Martin. 52-47. The Herd's back within 5. Martin needs 2 more points for another double-double. He has 10 rebounds already. Nutter looking to shoot again. Well, he decides not to. Above the free throw line, gives a bounce up top to Lane. Working on Jacob Gibbs. Left around an Edwards screen. Cut off at the elbow. A pass up top. A straight on 3 by Hamilton. Might have been blocked. I think it was by Gibbs. Martin rebounds under the basket. The Herd forecourt. Ball to Gibbs on the right wing. Feeds Obina. Right elbow. Turning jump shot. Got it. Anachili Killen 9 since halftime. And Marshall makes it a 1-possession game. We cross 14 minutes to go. 52-49. Panthers still up and with the ball. Ball goes out front to Nutter. Obina on him in space. Now Marshall switches Martin on the Nutter. He'll drive left, down low. Shot no good. Rebounded by Edwards. Little right-hand hook shot no good. Nutter, though, another offensive rebound. His shot no good. Martin rebounds. Panthers had a bunch of short-distance shots. Couldn't get them to go. The Herd down 3. Ahead to Obina. 3 on the way. No good. Offensive rebound, Nate Martin, who muscles it up. Shot no good, but a foul called. Martin to the free throw line. Zarik Nutter holds his hands in the air, acting as though he's amazed. His second foul. And Nate Martin heads to the line with Marshall down by 3 and 13:21 to go. 8 points tonight for Martin to go along with already 13 rebounds. Now Marshall needs free throws, too strong off the back iron. Martin 2 for 3. Marshall 11 of 14 at the stripe. And one more for Big Nate. 3 dribbles, puts it up. This one's dead center. 2-point game, timeout. Marshall's fans rise. Glad to be back in this one. 52-50 our score. Break in the action. 13:21 to go. And we're back after this.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
This is your home of the Herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
When the unexpected happens, it's good to know that you can count on Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, the official restoration partner of Marshall Athletics. Whether it's fire, smoke, flood, or storm damage at your home or business, you can rest assured that we have helped thousands of customers just like you with the right people, equipment, and expertise. We are ready to respond 24 hours a day to get you back on your feet.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
13:21 to go. Marshall trails Georgia State 52-50. Pepsi is the official soft drink of Marshall University Athletics and proud to support the Thundering Herd. Pepsi says, we are Marshall. Herd still struggling from the field at 32% and 6 of 20 on threes. Georgia State has slowed down in the second half, down to 46% after making 50 in the first half. 3 of 9 on three-pointers. Panthers have gotten to the free throw line already for 21 of them and have made 15. Marshall's 12 of 15 at the line. It'll be Georgia State's ball out of the timeout. Marshall has in the game Dezane Mingo, Jalen Spear, Jacob Gibbs, Nate Martin, and Obina Anachili Killen. Anachili Killen playing with 3 fouls. Jelani Hamilton will take it out of bounds end rear court for Georgia State. He, against some Marshall pressure, gets it into Zarik Nutter. And the point guard, Malachi Brown, now in control. Over midcourt, Jalen Spear jumps out on him all the way back at the stripe. They'll bounce to Nutter off the left elbow. Squares up on Obina. Drives left. Gets down low. Shot up and good. Obina couldn't be too aggressive there. And Nutter has now 9 points, and he doubles the lead. We cross 13 minutes remaining. It's 54-50 Panthers. Jalen Spear, right sideline. A handoff to Obina. Gives to Jacob Gibbs near the corner. And we've got a moving screen call against Marshall's Jalen Spear off the ball. 3 on him. Marshall turns it over. It's the Herd's 7th turnover. 7 each way now. And a discussion going on in front of the Georgia State bench with one of the officials and Jonas Hayes, the Panthers coach. And they send both teams to the benches again. We're going to go back to the replay monitor. That's unusual in that not a lot had happened. Well, Spear was called for the foul away from the ball, so who knows what might have. So I didn't catch what happened, so maybe they're looking at the contact there. Marshall Basketball is brought to you by Thundering Beverages, proud local distributors of Miller Lite, Coors Light, Corona, Heineken, Sam Adams, and so much more. Your friends at Thundering Beverages remind you to drink responsibly and please do not drink and drive. And players back on the floor. Nothing else is announced. Herd shows a little full court pressure. Hamilton out of bounds end rear court. Throws it near midcourt to Nutter. To Brown. Spear on Brown before he crosses midcourt. He makes a strong move right, back left through the top of the key. Gives to Nutter again. They clear it out for him to go to work on Anachili Killen. Crosses over, goes left, head fake, leans back right. Shot blocked by Obina, rebounded by Jacob Gibbs. Marshall down 4, has the ball back. Anachili Killen is doing well, affecting play without picking up that 4th foul so far. 12:20 to go. Jalen Spear on the dribble. Gives to Mingo at the left hash. Hamilton has Dezane Mingo. A dribble left, a stop-and-go drive. Gets down to the block, gives a head fake. Pass up top, Nate Martin wide open. Three-pointer by Nate, off to the left, no good. Marshall missed the 3. Hamilton rebounds for Georgia State, which goes up the floor. Hamilton, a stop-and-go drive, gets to the rim and lays it in with the left hand. 25 for Jelani Hamilton. Marshall down 6. We're inside 12 minutes to play. Mingo, right of the midcourt logo, takes it now to high on the right wing. Left around a Martin screen, curls to the free throw line for a jump shot, got it. Mingo hit 2 buckets early, hadn't gotten anything else since then until now. 56-52, 11:30 to go. Zarik Nutter over midcourt, gets the play call from his coach. Point guard Brown comes and takes the ball away. Guarded by Spear, gives a bounce to Hamilton, high on the left wing. Crossover, a drive on Mingo, gets down low, and we've got a whistle and the foul called. Maybe against Mingo from behind. That's 3 on Dezane. 3rd on Mingo. Panthers have the ball, but after a timeout. Marshall still down by 4. Georgia State 56, Thundering Herd 52, 11-17 to play when we come back.
As proud corporate sponsors of Marshall University Athletics, Bluegrass Tours proudly provides group transportation with clean late model equipment and modern amenities, including Wi-Fi, internet, and electric outlets. Bluegrass Tours can handle all your transportation needs, including high school and collegiate sports travel, corporate outings, or group tours. To get there safely and in style, visit bgtky.com or call Bluegrass Tours at 800-755-6956. Again, that's 800-755-6956. Bluegrass Tours, they're ready to go. Are you?
For more than 4 decades now, Ford F-Series has given hard-working folks more of everything they want in a truck. More capability, more power, and more smart technology. That's why, for 47 years now, more people have chosen Ford F-Series than any other brand. To test drive a new F-Series yourself and discover a 47-year legacy of toughness, visit your local Ford store today.
Buying your dream home, driving down new roads, starting that business you've always dreamed of, sending your kids off to college, living out your dream retirement. No matter what dreams you have, Encova Insurance can help make them a reality. Visit Encova.com to find an agent in your neighborhood and find out how you can customize your home, auto, and business insurance to fit your needs today. Encova Insurance. We're ready for what's next.
11:17 to go. Georgia State still in front, 56-52 over the Thundering Herd. With more than 120 locations serving West Virginia, Ohio, and Virginia, GoMart is proud to support the Thundering Herd. Go for good times, go for GoMart. Marshall down by 5 at the half, down now by 4. Hasn't been able to get over the top and get back in front since the Herd's last lead at 24-23. Marshall led by 7 early. Georgia State has led by as many as 10. And the teams are back on the floor ready to go. 3 fouls each on 3 different Marshall starters. Dezane Mingo, Jalen Spear, and Obina Anachili Killen. All 3 are in the game with Nate Martin and Jacob Gibbs. Georgia State's ball. Point guard Brown takes it out of bounds, baseline left. Lobs it up top. Gibbs nearly stole it from Nutter, who drives into the lane. Right-hand shot off the glass and good. He was angling left to right. Zarik Nutter has 11. He scored 20 in Georgia State's win yesterday. Back to a 6-point lead for the Panthers. Marshall forecourt with Mingo on the dribble. Picked up out front by Hamilton. Lobs to Martin, top of the key. Nate looks to the right wing for Gibbs. Puts it on the deck. Gets down to the baseline, passes it back outside. Martin a handoff to Mingo. Mingo to Gibbs, back to Mingo, right wing high. Shot clock down to 8. Mingo, a pick and roll lob to Obina, down low. Shot no good, knocked out of bounds though by Georgia State. The ball never hit the rim, and so the shot clock for Marshall is at 3. Herd has to get something shot quickly, down by 6, 10:39 to go. Mingo will take it out of bounds. Right of the basket. Herd with a box set to start. 1 guy on each side of the paint. Mingo has the ball. Here they go. 3 on the shot clock. Mingo still looking. 5 counts on. Lobs to Obina under the basket. Lay in. The Panthers totally lost Anachili Killen, who has 11 all this half. 58-54, 10.5 to go. Jalen Spear tight on Malachi Brown, who dribbles it to the left wing on offense. Pass down low. Hamilton shot. Rolls off the iron. No good. Obina with a rebound. That shot was altered by Nate Martin. The Herd can make it a 1-possession game. They go for the steal. Hamilton's called for the foul against Anachili Killen. It's going to be number 5 on Georgia State. The second on Jelani Hamilton. He who has 25 points tonight. Marshall will take it out of bounds at midcourt. Herd trying to get back within 2, maybe even 1. Spear into Mingo, and here we go. Mingo up high to the right hash. Out front, Martin, a dribble, a handoff to Spear. Goes around to Martin's screen, fires the 3, missed it to the left. Martin, an offensive rebound, into Spear for a left corner 3, missed that one. And Hamilton rebounds for the Panthers. Jalen Spear, 2 threes, neither went. We cross 10 minutes to go. Obina has a steal on the other end. Gives to Mingo. Long pass ahead to Gibbs. Beautiful pass. Gibbs lay in good. 2-point game. Jacob Gibbs with his first points. And it's 58-56. Panthers up, 9:40 to go. Brown up the middle of the floor. Jacob Gibbs will defend the point guard. Brown takes it left. Gibbs shadows him all the way. A bounce on the wing where Spear plays the defense on Zariq Nutter. Spins baseline. Martin comes to help. Skip pass to the right wing. They'll launch a three, and Edwards knocks it down. The big man is money on three-point shots, more than 40%, and it's 61-56. Marshall within 2, but now a 5-point game. Mingo drives on a stop-and-go move. He missed another lay-in. Mingo just can't get the shots to go tonight. Rebound Panthers. They're up 5 at the 9-minute mark, and now Marshall steals it. Obina picks off a pass. Marshall has numbers. Mingo, left side, a drive. His shot blocked again. It's knocked out of bounds by the Panthers. The Herd has it. Zane Mingo just off the mark. Hit 2 shots early, but he's 3 of 14 now. Jalen Spears 5 of 15. That's tough to overcome, but Marshall's down by only 5. Mingo will inbound from the right baseline. Gets it into Obina. Left wing, 15 feet out. And we've got a bump called immediately. A little forearm by McMullen, who came back in and is quickly hit with his 4th foul. Physical player, and they've whistled those fouls in this game that sometimes get called, sometimes don't, like that one. 4 on McMullen, and so we'll have a substitute come in. They go to a smaller lineup. They bring in another guard in Malik Ferguson to replace McMullen. So the Herd's going to make a change. Cade Gibbs is going to check in. And Martin goes out. So both teams go smaller right now. Nate Martin, 9 points and 14 rebounds in this game. But the teams go smaller. Marshall to inbound. A lob to Obina. Puts it up, no good, and a foul called. Maybe Edwards. More free throws for Anachili Killen. It's Nutter, his 3rd. It's a couple of times Marshall on inbound plays under the basket has gotten the ball to Obina up at the rim. Anachili Killen didn't score in the first half. Has 11. He's been a real thorn in the Panthers' side this year. In the 2 games, he scored 23 and 22 respectively. And didn't get to play as much in the first half with 2 fouls. Free throw, no good. Off to the right and short. Still a 5-point lead for the Panthers, 61-56. 8:46 on the clock. Obina ready for the second free throw. Shoots it, makes this one. A dozen for Anachili Killen. And a 4-point game. Nutter, right side, takes it forecourt. Cade Gibbs is going to shadow him. He'll drift left, top of the key, right around an Edwards screen. Stop and go drive down low on Obina, who has to back off, and Nutter scores it off the glass. 13 for Zariq Nutter. 63-57, 8.5 to go. Mingo ahead, top of the key, gets a step into the lane, has it knocked away, but gets it back and lays it up and rolls around the rim twice and falls through. Good for Mingo. He has 8. 63-59. Back and forth between a 4 and a 6-point lead as we go down to the 8-minute mark. Marshall needs a stop or 2. Nutter on the left side, guarded by Obina in space, drives again, right side of the paint, leans in, left hand off the glass, good again for Nutter, and Obina's going to be hit with foul number 4. The Panthers, ever since Obina picked up 3, have been attacking and attacking and attacking that spot on the floor. Obina had been able to avoid the 4th until now. There'll be a free throw, but after a timeout. Panthers trying to knock off the number 5 seed Herd. 7:59 to play. Georgia State 65, Marshall 59. 4 fouls on Anachili Killen, and Nutter with a free throw when we come back.
Are you ready to show your thunderous support for Marshall Thundering Herd basketball? Turn to the winning team at Thornhill Auto Group. We are revved up to back the Herd with unbeatable deals on new and pre-owned vehicles. Drive in style and join the Thundering Herd spirit. Thornhill Auto Group, where community and champions collide. Offering new Chevy, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota. Click or come by the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville, Logan, and Belfry, or thornhillautomotive.com. Go Herd, go Thornhill. We are the road to total savings. See Thornhill for complete details.
This is the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
Marshall University and Creative Kitchens, two hometown teams striving for perfection every day. When it's time to update your kitchen, bath, or any room in your house, call the squad at Creative Kitchens.
With more than 60 years of experience, Creative Kitchens is West Virginia's leading kitchen and bath design and remodeling specialist.
Stop in one of their beautiful showrooms in Huntington, Hurricane, or Lewisburg, or visit Creative Kitchens online at creativekitchens.com.
Creative Kitchens, family serving families since 1959. A proud supporter of the Marshall Thundering Herd.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
This one has been a struggle for the Thundering Herd. 7:59 to go, and Marshall trails Georgia State 65-59. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. 4 fouls now on Obina and a Chili Killen, so he's out. Mike Dawson's back in for Marshall, which has Nate Martin, Jacob Gibbs, Dezane Mingo, and Jalen Spear also in the game. Panthers will have Zarik Nutter on the free throw line, trying to finish off a three-point play. He picked up Obina's 4th foul right before the timeout, now heads to the free throw line. Scored 20 last night, one of 3 20-point scores in the Panthers' win over Georgia Southern. And Nutter looks for his 16th point and doesn't get it. Rolls off the iron, no good. Jacob Gibbs grabs the loose ball for the Herd. So it's a 6-point game. Marshall forecourt with Jalen Spear on the dribble. Picked up as he crosses the timeline by Brown. Left hand bounce pass to Martin on the left point. Right hand dribble to the right side of the lane. Gets down low to the block. Gives a head fake. Shot no good. Edwards knocks it out of bounds, though, for Georgia State. Marshall keeps the ball. Marshall's going to trigger it in left side baseline. And the official stop play for another conversation back at the scorer's table. Well, now they say they're ready to go. Mingo, baseline left, looks under the basket, tried to thread it through to Dawson. The Panthers kicked the ball. Now they'll move Mingo to the right side. To the left side now of the bucket. His right. And he'll inbound again. Gets it into Spear. Left corner. Long 2 is up. No good. Rebound. Batted around. And it's going to be the Panthers' ball. Georgia State forecourt. Up by 6. 7.5 to go. Pull up 3. No good. Mingo rebounds. The missed shot by Georgia State. The Herd's in transition. Finds Jacob Gibbs. Right baseline. Lay in good. Jacob Gibbs ran the floor hard and scores to get Marshall within 4 with just over 7 to go. 65-61 Panthers. Tenari Lane, top of the key, gives to Edwards high post. Dribbles to the right side, lobs it onto the wing. Nice catch there. They feed high post again for Nutter. Right elbow jumper, no good. Another foul called. Zarik Nutter is going to get more free throws. Jacob Gibbs this time is hit with his first. That's Marshall's 7th, and so it was a shooting foul anyway, but bonus time for the Panthers from here on out. Nutter, 15 and counting. He's only 1 of 5 at the free throw line. Shooting 2, missed this one strong. Still 65-61. Hamilton checks in. And it's Ferguson who goes out to the Georgia State bench. Jelani Hamilton, 25 points already. Had 19 in the first half. Nutter missed. Nope, he got it to roll over the rim good. Thought he had come up short again. make it a 5-point lead with under 7 to go, 66-61. Mingo ahead for the Herd. Left side, a handoff to Spear. Back up between the circles. Jalen Spear bounced to Martin on the left wing. Nate dribbles to the free throw line, kicks to Dawson right. He'll give it to the left side point, Mingo. Shot clock down to a dozen. Mingo gets a screen from Martin, goes right. Guarded by Nutter. Shot clock at 8. Mingo left-hand dribble to the free throw line. Fadeaway jumper is off the back iron. High rebound, no good. Hamilton grabs it for the Panthers. Mingo's shot just off. Marshall can't leave Obina out any longer. He's going to run to the scorer's table. Edwards a straight on 3, missed it badly. Dawson rebounds for Marshall. Pass to the right side, Mingo, back to Dawson. Forecourt, top of the key, Mike Dawson. 6:10, 6:09 to go. Bounce to Martin out front. Dribbles right, sends to Mingo on the wing. Drives baseline against Brown. Gets down low, and he's fouled by Edwards. It'll be 2 free throws for Dezane Mingo. Cesar Edwards with his first foul. Or did the foul come from behind? It's Brown. Brown called for the bump. It was Edwards who also made contact late, but Brown properly was called for the first contact. So Mingo shoots 2. 6 minutes to go. Marshall needs these. Dezane hits the first one. He has 9 points. It's been a lot of work to get him. Mingo's 4 of 16 shooting. Obina back in with 4 fouls. 6:01 to go. Marshall down 4. Mingo to shoot 1 more. Dezane pauses, puts it up and in. 10 for Mingo. Third Marshall score in double figures. 2 more guys, Dawson and Martin, have 9. It's been balanced, but the Herd's down by 3. Under 6 to go. Brown on the right point for the Panthers. Flips it left to Lane. Back to Brown off a flare screen on the right wing. Out front, Hamilton, guarded by Obina, fires a 3. He has it. 28 for Hamilton. He doubles the lead. It's now 69-63. 5.5 to go. Marshall up the floor. Mingo to the top of the key. Fakes the 3. Gives to Spear out front. A bounce to Obina. Right side of the lane. Halfway up. Up top from Mingo. 3. Got it. Mingo cuts the lead in half. And a timeout by Cornelius Jackson on the Marshall bench. 5:22 to go. The Herd fans outnumber the Panther fans. The folks wearing green are on their feet. 5:22 to play. Marshall back within 3 of Georgia State. 69-66. Panthers on top. Well, Mingo was held to just 4 points in the first half. He has 9. And a lot of them have come in rapid succession here. To get Marshall back within 3 points, trying to stay alive and advance to take on Arkansas State at 6:30 tomorrow. If the Herd wins, we'll be on the air along the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield, 6 o'clock with the Par-Mar Stores Courtside Show. Herd's got to play some defense. Georgia State has hit 50%. 24 of 48 shots, and has made 5 of 13 three-pointers. More than solid 39% there. Herd's had to fight to stay close while making only 34% from the field, 22 of 65 and 7 of 24 on threes. Panthers get it in. They'll go up the floor with Malachi Brown on the dribble to the top of the key. The Herd's going to go zone, 2-3. Brown to the left wing, looks at that Marshall defense. Gives the ball to Edwards, left side, up top. Nutter will fire a 3, and he gets it to go. A lot of iron, and it stays in the cylinder. Zarik Nutter has 19. Back to a 6-point lead, and we're under 5 minutes to play. 72-66 Panthers. Mingo out front around double screens. Takes it to the left point, back around to Jacob Gibbs' screen right. Still top of the key. Goes to the right wing, can't feed Obina inside, over to Spear for a left wing 3 on the way, got it. The teams are trading triples, 72-69. Jalen Spear has 18. 4.5 on the clock. Hamilton top of the key. Fires to Edwards on the left side of the lane against a smaller player, Gibbs. Little turnaround, rolls off the iron, no good. And a foul called on Georgia State. Wrestling with Obina and Achille Killen. Marshall will go to the other end to shoot a 1+1, if I'm not mistaken here. Hamilton with his 3rd foul. It was Obina who ended up on his back on the floor. Is it he who was fouled, or we'll see. 4:21 to go. Marshall down by 3. And somebody's shooting a 1+1. And I think the officials are trying to talk about which one, Spear or Obina. In fact, they both ask, who is it? Jalen was lobbying to go to the free throw line, but it's going to be Anachili Killen for a 1+1. 72-69 Panthers, 4:21 to go. Obina, free throw up and in. He gets to shoot another. Anachili Killen has 13, and all have come since halftime. 72-70. Marshall's leader, fifth-year player, looking to make it a one-point game, and the free throw is up, no good. The rebound knocked out of bounds, but the officials say it's Georgia State's ball. Marshall's bench adamant, and the officials confer, and it is Marshall's ball. Nutter touched it last. Good work there. That's the right call, I believe. Again, we're quite a ways away. But the Marshall bench was sure emphatic. Hurd down 2. Chance to tie it up or take the first lead since the first half. Allowed to Obina under the basket, lost the ball. It's out of bounds off Anachili Killen. He was there for a bucket in a tie game, but couldn't hang on. So the Panthers keep the lead and have the ball back. 4:18 on the clock. Georgia State inbounds to Nutter. He's had a big half. 19 points tonight, including 14 since halftime. Dawson on him out front. Nutter turns the corner, drives on Obina, who blocked the shot from behind. Dawson rebounds, gives in transition to Mingo. The Panthers hustle back. Hurd down 2 and with the ball. Zane Mingo above the free throw line, and we've got a kick ball as Mingo tried to feed Obina on the pick and roll. Kicked by the Panthers. Marshall will have it out of bounds after a timeout. Tight game. Hurd's been behind most of the night, but has a chance to tie or take the lead when we come back. 3:58 to go. Panthers 72, Thundering Herd 70. We return to Pensacola after this.
Buying your dream home. Driving down new roads. Starting that business you've always dreamed of. Sending your kids off to college. Living out your dream retirement. No matter what dreams you have, Encova Insurance can help make them a reality. Visit Encova.com to find an agent in your neighborhood and find out how you can customize your home, auto, and business insurance to fit your needs today. Encova Insurance. We're ready for what's next.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
What do you call a group of grown men and women decked out in green and white who get together every Saturday to share a 3-hour-long ritual of jumping, singing, and toasting Miller Lite while yelling, "We are," with someone shouting back "Marshall" over and over again? You call it Miller Time in Huntington. Here's to the Thundering Herd. Here's to the original light beer with only 96 calories. It's Miller Time. Must be 21. Celebrate responsibly.
Three minutes, 58 seconds left in the second half. Marshall still trails 72-70 against Georgia State. The Panthers have led this game for nearly 26 minutes. Marshall has held the lead for under 8 minutes, and that was early. Marshall's last lead was back in the first half at 24-23. But the Herd has the ball out of bounds and a chance to tie, where the Herd could regain the lead with a 3. Just under 4 minutes to go. Dawson's going to take it out of bounds, right side front court. The Herd also has Mingo, Spear, Jacob Gibbs, and Obina Anachili Killen in the game. So Dawson at the right hash, ready to go. Marshall down 2, ball in play. Mingo has it, high right side, guarded by Hamilton goes left, turns the corner, takes it down low, kicks it outside. Marshall to Mingo back in the right corner. Left-hand dribble into the lane. Leans in. Fadeaway now is up and off the iron. No good. Jacob Gibbs offensive rebound. Up top to Spear. Spear to Dawson. Feeds down low. Obina. Head fake. Dribbles. Shot blocked by Edwards. Rebound Nutter. Cesar Edwards blocked. Anachili Killen turned the tables on the Sun Belt's leading shot blocker and defensive player of the year. And the Panthers keep the 2-point lead. Edwards, top of the key, drives left on Obina, leans in, puts the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Mingo. So Obina, nice defense the other way on Edwards. 3:11, 3:10 to play. Marshall down by 2, 72-70, back on offense. Mingo left around an Obina screen to the high post, pull up, jump shot for the tie, got it. Zane Mingo, the mid-range jumper. 17 feet away, right above the free throw line. We're tied 72-72. Marshall fans on their feet. Hoping for a stop now with 2:45 to go. Nutter ahead, a left side drive into traffic, kicks it up top. Here's Edwards, a three, off the mark. No good. Rebound Gibbs, and Marshall with the ball in a tie game. Brings it slowly up the floor to Zane Mingo, right of center. Picked up as he crosses the timeline by Hamilton. So tied at 72. Obina sets the screen. Ball to Spear. Left side three for the lead. Off the back iron. No good. Rebounded by Edwards. Still tied. Panthers take it back up the floor. 72-72. 2:15 to play. Clock rolls with Malachi Brown going front court. Guarded by Jalen Spear. Backs up. Gets the play call. Drifts left. Goes all the way to the wing. Gives a bounce to Hamilton, the big scorer of the night. Working on Mingo. Kicks it up top. Brown swings it to Edwards on the right wing. Three on the way, on line, but he missed it short. And Marshall rebounds. The Zane Mingo clears. We're under 2 minutes to go in a tie game, and Marshall's back on its end. Mingo high right side, guarded by Hamilton. Obina sets the screen. Mingo left around the pick. Curls to the free throw line, and we've got a foul called on the Panthers off the ball. Hamilton, by the way, has just drawn number 4. He has 28 points. And McMullen's going to come back in. He's had trouble staying on the floor. He has 4 fouls. Hamilton remains with 4 fouls. And Mingo goes to the free throw line with a chance to give Marshall its first lead since 24-23. 15 for DeZane, 16 puts the Herd on top. 1:42 to go, got it. DeZane had only 4 in the first half. Now it's 73-72 Marshall. Tenari Lane is out, and it's McMullen in there. Substitutions made. They get lined up along the paint, and Mingo will shoot one more for a 2-point lead. DeZane rests that ball on his left hip. Now the free throw's up and good. And Marshall leads at 74-72. Brown up the floor, runs at front court, slams on the brakes, and the Panthers call time with 96 seconds to play. Marshall 74, Georgia State 72. So the break in the action. It's a 30-second timeout. The possession arrow favors Georgia State. Important at this point in the game. Marshall up by 2. 30-second timeout. The Panthers have 2 timeouts left. And Marshall has 1 remaining for Coach Cornelius Jackson. Marshall has clamped down the defense a bit of late. Panthers have fallen below 50% shooting. They were at 50 or above most of the game. Now it's 46%. They've still made 6 of 15 threes for 40%. Marshall has the lead despite being held to 34% overall and 31% from 3. 24-70 and 8 of 26 respectively. But DeZane Mingo, after a very slow start, is up to 17 points. Jalen Spear has 18. Obina 13, all in the second half. It was a 39-34 Panthers lead at halftime. Guys are back on the floor. Hamilton will take it out of bounds. Right side hash for Georgia State with Marshall up 2 and 1:36 to go. A bounce into Malachi Brown. Mingo man-to-man defense out front on the Panthers point guard. He'll bounce to Edwards. Squares up. Martin's back in. Edwards goes to the baseline. Martin gets a hand on the ball. Edwards keeps it. Tough hook shot is up on the rim, rattling her off. No good. Rebound kept alive. The Panthers get it. Brown has it. Gives to Edwards. They'll flip to Zarik Nutter on the right point. 1:14 to go. Nutter guarded by Jacob Gibbs. Goes left. Back to the right. Picks up the dribble. Flips it to Cesar Edwards. Driving on Nate Martin to the free throw line. A foul called. Is that the bump on Nate? Or was the foul off the ball? 1:05 to play. It is the first on Martin. And so with Marshall up 2, it's going to be Edwards to the free throw line. 75% on the year for the senior from Hartsville, South Carolina. Edwards has 13 tonight. He's the team's leading scorer. He averages 16 a game. Had 21 and 27 against Marshall in the regular season. 1:05 to go. His team down 2, and the senior at the free throw line. Cesar Edwards, 6'10", dribbles twice. He puts it up. It's the 1+1. He makes it and gets to shoot another for the tie. Eight fouls on Marshall, 10 against the Panthers. And Edwards looks to knot this one at 74. He aims it, shoots it, and makes it. Calmly knocked down 2 pressure free throws. And we're even 74-74. Zane Mingo will bring it up floor, and as he crosses midcourt, we're at 1 minute to play. Obina sets the screen high. Mingo left around the pick. Turns the corner, free throw line, backs up, jump shot, in and out and back in, off the glass and through. Mingo with 19 and Marshall 76-74. 45 seconds to go. Panthers with Brown across the timeline call the play. Jalen Spear now on Brown. Top of the key. Spins back right. Gets the corner. Turns. Gets into the lane. Running one-hander. Good. Tie game. 35 seconds to go. Brown hit the shot and then goes down. It looks like he rolled an ankle and he's in pain. Big bucket by Malachi Brown. That was a tough shot for a guy who had not made a field goal all game long. He's up and hopping toward the other end. He doesn't want to leave. Tells his coach, Jonas Hayes, I'm good. Tied at 76, 35 seconds to play. 5 seconds difference between the two clocks. They're going to mop up the floor where Brown went down. His coach, Hayes, says, come over here and talk to me for a second. I'm not ready to say you're good, but now he nods and Brown walks back onto the floor with the rest of his team. He's jumping around trying to test that ankle. Hobbling on the right, and they're going to pull him out. It's going to be Malik Ferguson to go in, and Brown will take a seat. So the starting point guard's out. Ferguson's a taller guy, though, and a good defender. So this isn't a bad spot for him to come in. Tie game, 35 seconds to go. Marshall inbounds to Mingo, 76-76. Now 30 seconds to play. Mingo across the timeline. Zarik Nutter on to Zane Mingo. Heard Retney shorten this one. Can't take it all the way down. Martin sets a screen. Mingo left around the pick. 18 seconds to play. Ball to Spear. Right side. Jump shot no good. Rebound batted around, and there's a foul called, and that's going to be against the Herd with 13 seconds to go. They're going to walk to the other end, and Nick McMullen will shoot a 1+1. He's a 58% free throw shooter. It's a tie game. It's Dawson's second foul. So here's McMullen, the senior from Greensboro, with a chance in a 1+1 opportunity to give his team the lead. 2 points for him in the first half. That's it. He's been in foul trouble, hasn't played a lot. So McMullen on the line for a huge moment. Edwards hit 2 big free throws a bit back. And now here's McMullen. If he misses, Marshall's got a rebound here. Shot clock's off. The free throw is up and no good, and Mingo rebounds. Marshall up the floor. The Herd has a timeout. 8 seconds to go. Marshall's not going to use it. Mingo, long range. 5 seconds left. Curls to the top of the key. Pick and roll. Lob to Obina. Lay in. Good. 1.5 seconds to go. Marshall has the lead. Foul called. And a chili kill into the free throw line. 78-76 Herd. Not over. But Obina, Anna Chili Killen, has 15 points and looks for 16. And now the timeout called. Corny Jackson wants to make sure everybody is calm and collected right here. Marshall, let them play it. Corny didn't take the timeout. Didn't want to let Georgia State set up anything defensively. Got the signal into Mingo. They set up the pick and roll. Mingo delivered, as did Obina on the business end. And he draws the foul. That was 5, by the way, on McMullen, who missed the 1+1 on the other end. And here we are, 78-76 Marshall. And when they're back on the floor, it's Anna Chili Killen to shoot a free throw, looking to make it a full 3-point lead. Panthers will be in desperation mode either way with the ball on that end of the floor. All the way to the other end from their basket. Game clock is set to 1.8. They're going to add 0.3 of a second to the clock. 1.8. But still Obina to the free throw line. How about him? No points. Brandon Chili Killen in the first half. Picked up 2 fouls and had to sit a bunch. Doesn't want his season to end tonight, his career. And he has Marshall on top at the end. Not quite the end of the game yet, though. So Anna Chili Killen at the line. 78-76 Marshall. 1.8 on the clock. You make the free throw, then you let them launch one. Don't foul a three-point shooter. The free throw is up, and it's good. 79-76, and the Panthers now will use their timeout. They've got 2 of them. They'll still have 1 left. They're going to make it a 30. And what will Jonas Hayes draw up to try to get off a 3-point shot with only 1.8 seconds remaining in the game? The Herd just that close now to surviving a first-round game against a team that already had a win here, had already played in this building. Marshall came in cold. You don't even get to practice. You come out for your pregame warm-ups, and that's the first time you shoot here in the Pensacola Bay Center because you've got games going on all day prior to your team getting to play. Marshall will put Nate Martin to guard the inbounder, and the other 4 Marshall players will back up to at least midcourt. Obina's going to be back at the rim on the other end where Cesar Edwards is. And now the Herd sees the way that the Panthers line up, and so Corny Jackson will use his final timeout. Boy, this could be quite a day for Marshall fans here along the Gulf Coast. It's a full timeout, by the way, for Coach Jackson. Marshall fans came in and saw the Thundering Herd women's team beat Appalachian State earlier, right before this game. And so Coach Fulks and her squad will play again tomorrow against Troy. The winner of this game takes on Arkansas State. 6:30 scheduled start tomorrow evening. 3:30 tomorrow Eastern time for the women's game. So again, they will be back-to-back. But the job remains for Marshall to finish this one off. Big run at the end. And defensively, Marshall has held Georgia State to just 1 of its last 7 shots from the field. Panthers were up above 50% shooting most of the game, now 26 of 56. The Herd shooting percentage still not what you would want, but a little better at 36%. Players back on the floor. Again, Obina back at the rim. Back there for Georgia State is Nutter now. They'll run the inline Ferguson. Football pass all the way up the floor. And it's over everybody and goes out of bounds. Marshall will take it out. And the Herd just needs to get it in and hang on to that ball. Marshall 79. Georgia State 76. And it's back to where they threw it on the previous pass. So the Herd's got it on its own end. Jalen Spear in. Jacob Gibbs out. In case there's a foul, Spear, one of the best free throw shooters. It's Mingo to trigger it in. Marshall needs to make one more play to get the win over Georgia State. Mingo has the ball. Here we go. Into Spear. Holds it in the corner. clock rolls to zeros, and that's it. A come-from-behind victory for Marshall's Thundering Herd. Corny Jackson, in his first year as the coach at Marshall, a 20-win season. Georgia State's year comes to a close, 14-19. Marshall is 20-12. The Herds won 5 in a row and takes on Arkansas State, the preseason pick to win the Sun Belt Conference and the number 4 seed in this tournament. 6:30 tomorrow. We're on the air along the West Virginia Lottery Thundering Herd Sports Network at 6 o'clock. What a game. What a day for Marshall University. Big day for the Kelly Green and White. A sweep. The women's team wins it over Appalachian State. Marshall's men 79. Georgia State 76. We'll have more from Pensacola after this.
Looking for something more from your personal checking account? Then one of our new Community Trust Advantage checking accounts might be right for you. Our Advantage checking accounts offer great features such as ID Protect, roadside assistance, cell phone protection, travel and leisure discounts, and shopping rewards, which makes it easier for you to save money on everyday purchases. Learn more at ctbi.com. Get more out of your checking. Open an account today. Our friendly professional staff at one of our mini branches will be happy to assist you.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
This is your home of the Herd, the Thundering Herd Sports Network from Learfield.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Victor's Cleaners is the preferred fabric care specialist of Marshall Athletics, celebrating over 100.
Final score at the Pensacola Bay Center. Marshall knocked off Georgia State 79-76. It's now time for our Victor's Cleaners and Laundry Dirty uniform of the game. And no two better to give it to than the Zane Mingo and Abina and Chili Killen.
And now here's McMullen. If he misses, Marshall's got a rebound here. Shot clock's off. The free throw is up and no good, and Mingo rebounds. Marshall up the floor. The Herd has a timeout. 8 seconds to go. Marshall's not going to use it. Mingo, long range. 5 seconds left. Curls to the top of the key. Pick and roll. Lob to Abina. Lay in. Good. 1.5 seconds to go. Marshall has the lead.
That gave Marshall the 78-76 lead. Obina added the free throw. Final score 79-76. Zane Mingo, 19 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Obina and Chili Killen, 16 points, 2 rebounds on the day, along with 4 blocks. Victor's Cleaners and Laundry's Dirty uniform of the game is presented by Victor's Cleaners, the preferred fabric care specialist of Marshall Athletics, celebrating over 100 years of cleaning your game's best. We now start the Marshall Health Postgame Show.
Welcome to the Marshall Health Postgame Show. We are Marshall Health. Interviews and a complete game recap are all straight ahead. Now, back to courtside. Here's the voice of the Herd, Steve Cotton.
Well, what a game. Marshall's Thundering Herd survives and advances to take on Arkansas State tomorrow. Right at the end, Marshall converts, and it's a 79-76 win over Georgia State University. Herd ends up taking 2 out of 3 from the Panthers this year, and they were all something else. Coach Corny Jackson required by the Sun Belt Conference to go to the main media session right after the games, and we are joined up in the broadcast area by Marshall assistant coach Adam Williams. He had the scouting report for Georgia State this year. You knew you had your hands full against a talented offensive team. How'd you see this one come out, Adam?
Yeah, Steve. Well, you know, it's a game of runs, man. And we told the guys that. I mean, Georgia State is an unbelievably tough basketball team. They're physical. They have 2 of the best post players in the league. And they're really, really a matchup that is interesting for us. And I thought with the game of runs, we started the first 4 to 5 minutes of the game and kind of punched them in the face and played really well and executed our game plan. And as we kept telling our guys, game of runs, and then they made a heck of a run that lasted just about the whole game until the very end.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you're playing without Obina, without Dezane, 2 fouls in the first half, and that's when Georgia State kind of put things together. Jelani Hamilton was crazy in the first half for them.
Well, you know what? We actually talked about that specifically in scouting. He didn't have a great game yesterday, but he's a really good player. And any time as a competitor and a talented player, you have a poor game the day before, you better watch out the next day. And sure enough, he came out. He showed you why he is a talented player, and he's a young, talented player too, so we're going to have to deal with him for the future. But he had a heck of a game, really, really got to his spots, made it tough for us, and it's not anything we didn't expect. We knew he was